in Jose Altuve, and that's what really sucks. You always have those athletes that you look at. I think we could probably all have one of those as kids growing up. Mac, maybe not yet. The first one for me was Rodney Hampton with the Giants. Like, he had a really nice year, and then it was done. It was gone. Right. It was over. And then he signed here and didn't even make it out of training camp. I'm like, damn, that guy got old fast, man. It happens overnight.
I think the first one that I saw really that was noticeable was Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
I mean, grew up watching Peyton at Tennessee, grew up watching him in Indianapolis, and then all of a sudden, and I've said this story 100 times, so I don't need to get too deep into it, but then it was like in the preseason, they're like, oh, Peyton Manning, excuse me, he's not throwing the ball. Why is he not throwing the ball? That's weird. He's just throwing a little out pass. Well, they don't need to show anything. And then all of a sudden, you got to the regular season, like, Peyton Manning can't throw the ball 20 yards. Peyton Manning can't throw the ball 20 yards.
Right.
And I was like, that sucks,
man.
That
sucks, yeah.
This is one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen. Like, Jose Altuve, like, watching that yesterday, like, he's never done it. He doesn't strike out. He's always been a contact guy. But again, like, time waits for no man. And it is undefeated. And, you'll see your greats, dissipate when it comes to their professional career. And unfortunately, one day, we're going to see 15 for the Chiefs not look like 15 for the Chiefs.
It's going to happen.
Look at Pittsburgh. Remember when Ben Roethlisberger first started? And it was like, oh, this big man can move. This big man's hard to take down. And then all of a sudden, it was like, that dude's a statue. Like, he doesn't move at all.
This big man's now doing a podcast calling out Aaron Rodgers. It's like that's what's going on there now. Have you had that yet, Mac, in your young 26 years on Earth where you went, man, I can't believe that guy got old that fast?
Well, I mean, yeah, Peyton Manning for sure. Yeah. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, my Celtics for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Kobe a little bit. Like, I remember watching Kobe be like, man, this ain't that dominant. It was the Achilles injury for me that started Kobe's sort of decline.
Everybody should gamble and get 2 years off like some other people did in the NBA. Saves you.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about before the game, before the show, Joe DiMaggio taking 4 years off the fight in WWE2. Like,
that's weird.
How much different would his career be if he never had to go fight the Battle of the Bulge, Like, it would have been wild to see something like that happen.
How much different would his career been if, like, African-American players played in baseball?
Exactly,
then?
Yeah.
There would be no 56-game hit streak.
Yeah.
Because somebody in the text line, Zach, was like, always love how everyone downplays the great of old, like themselves weren't milkmen, plumbers, etc. too. Nobody in the past were the specimens they are now. Give them their credit.
Well, you give them the credit, but you also assess the situation and you make, like logical, determinations. Like I say this, and I've said this for years, and I'll take this to my grave. The athletes today are better than the athletes yesterday, and the athletes tomorrow will be better than the athletes today. Just look at what's happened over the last 40 years. Like the kids we grew up, the guys we grew up watching, right?
Yeah.
In the 80s and 90s. Couldn't hold a candle to these guys. Now, George could play. Mike Schmidt could probably play. Don Mattingly could play. Lawrence Taylor, Derek. Like, there's certain guys that could play.
7 people.
Right. That's exactly right. Like, the majority of dudes that played in the NFL in the 60s and 70s probably would not be able to play out there today because of the way that the game is and the way that athletes are and the way that we've learned, and it's a full-time job now. And I mean, like, you can't compare what a guy like Patrick Mahomes is doing to somebody that played quarterback in the 50s and 60s. It's just it's not a comparable field. It's not a level playing field at all because we have had so many advancements in science and sports and everything like that. So that's not a hot take. That's a real take. That's a logical science take to have that opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like, Jackie Robinson got in the league, and everyone's like, oh, crap. Like, this guy's good. No wonder they were, like, not allowing Satchel Paige gets in the league. He's like, I don't even need 8 other guys on the field. Watch this.
I mean, and Satchel was doing it like when he was close to 60, too. That's how good he was. Again, there's exceptions to every single rule out there. But when you do not allow a certain part of the population to participate, things look a little bit different.
Yeah. So, more of that baseball talk will come up on the other side, but we want to keep it local here with the Royals. Don't forget, it is a Friday, so a loaded show with everything. We have one word. We have Richard of the Week. We've got Ron Slay coming back for one last time in the college basketball world, so all of you that enjoy his commentating, we will get you with him as well. But I do want to compare one Royals athlete to Kadarius Toney. I'm sure you can guess who it is, but it's more so the frustration that can leak throughout to the team. You cannot allow that to happen. I am Dusty Likens. That is Bob Fescoe, Mac Morey as well. This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's It's almost a given that better medical practice generally leads to better outcomes for their patients. And if you suffer with erectile dysfunction, you certainly want a good outcome. Heartland Men's Health practices better medicine. They're the leader in treating men's sexual health issues in Kansas City. And as you know, intimacy is a relationship destroyer, or ED, I should say, is a relationship destroyer, because research shows that men can draw apart from their partners when ED affects their sex life. But the folks over at Heartland Men's Health have treatments that work when the pills or herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%, and some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. So schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff on hand, and if you're like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Are you looking for an easy and affordable way to have a beautiful lawn all year long? GrassPad's idiot-proof lawn program is designed to create a healthy, weed-free lawn at an affordable cost. The program has 5 steps to feed your lawn, prevent and control weeds, and keep your grass green. So come on down to the GrassPad and we'll guide you through the process, and you'll have your lawn looking great in no time.
Come on down to the GrassPad. The GrassPad's high on grass.
Papa Roach.
This is my last resort. That's what she said, I don't hate.
With Rise Against, celebrating 25 years. Rise of the Roach Tour. Rockin' T-Mobile Center this Wednesday night. With special guest, Under Oath. On sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Papa Roach and Rise Against together on one epic night.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
At Busey Bank and Cross First Bank, we're partnering to help make your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth, cash flow management, and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Together, we're building extraordinary impact in business, wealth, and community. Busey Bank and Cross First Bank. Member FDIC.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Results every week and then receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey guys, new update. I'm down over 20 pounds thanks to Awaken 180. 20 pounds in just 4 weeks and doing it without medications. I'm eating to lose weight, and after I reach my goal, I'll receive free support for life. You can too. Awaken180weightloss.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown 15 minutes. Kansas side 70 eastbound from 435 to 670 is an 11-minute drive. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Don't forget, today is the Colorado Showcase, the pro day for Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter.
Ooh, big day. I like it. All right.
NFL executives, scouts, and coaches will descend upon Boulder for a final chance to see Shedeur Sanders throw the football and Travis Hunter try to stop it.
Yeah, they're really descending on Boulder just for that.
So does that mean Shedeur Sanders is going to skyrocket or plummet after today?
It's one or the other.
Which
right?
one are you going to put your money on?
I'm going to say skyrocket.
That's what I was going to go with.
Because if you have a bad pro day at your college, you suck. You really do. Like, it's a controlled environment. There's no defense. It's you throwing against the air. So if you don't go out there and perform well at these pro days at your own university, there's no reason to draft you. I saw a scenario yesterday. I want to throw this out from Mel Kiper, okay? And
Draftula? Yeah, Draftula.
I can't say that. Say it again.
Draftula.
Draftula.
Yeah.
Okay, Draftula.
You've never seen that man in the daylight.
No, you have not, no.
There's not a chance. You've never seen him eat a garlic knot.
No.
Oh, God, those are so
Never
good.
seen him
Really
hold
good.
it. They are.
Yeah.
Especially when you dip it in the gravy.
Yeah, get little garlic knots and every. Oh,
Draftula had what to say.
Okay, so this
I want to suck your draft picks.
He believes there's a way for the Giants to get both of those guys.
That's hilarious. He sucks.
He said that the Giants can take Travis Hunter at 3 and then trade back into the top 10 and take Shedeur Sanders and get both of those guys.
That's not happening.
Your thoughts on that?
No.
I mean, that'd be awesome.
First of all, let's just say it does happen.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing to have?
You're going all in on the same guys at the same team. Like, I don't know if that's what you want to do.
I don't think that's what I want to do at all. I mean,
unless they're going to throw to each other and he's going to play receiver, then you have Malik Neighbors, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, and what's their running back's name that's decent?
Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah, he's really good.
Ashton Genty.
Jacobs had to tape certain things to his.
Jacobs was a big man. Yeah. He went to Coffeyville.
Like the drink, but spelled differently. What in the hell is that running back's name? That's
No,
amazing.
I can't remember.
Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah. So they like him.
Yes.
They got. But I mean, so obviously this is silly season in the NFL. We're just throwing out anything that sounds good. And I saw that one being thrown out by Draftula yesterday, and I'm like, man, that is a wild one. There's no way
nuts.
that the Giants should do that. Second of all, you have enough collateral, and are you willing to give up all that collateral for a shot at Shedeur Sanders, who may not be any good? You don't know, while you have 2 quarterbacks currently on your roster. I don't know. I mean, that was just a wild draft kind of scenario that he threw out there yesterday. And that's what we like. It's a soap opera,
He's
you know?
bored, man. There's not a lot of blood out there to get into his body.
Well, there isn't, yeah.
Somebody from the 913 says, Draftula? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel Kiper, dude.
I want to count your picks.
Go ahead.
1, a 2, a 3.
Yeah, go look at him. Go Google search him. And then ask yourself 3 questions. Have you ever seen him in daylight? Have you only seen him on TV? You've never seen him outside.
Every once in a while, the only time you've ever seen him in the wild is at the draft.
Or in a coffin.
And the drafts at night?
And the drafts at night.
Drafts at night.
Like you hardly ever see Mel Kiper out
Because if he's
anywhere.
in the daylight, he'll dissipate.
Yeah, exactly. You imagine if they brought him up to Bristol and he had to be under those hot lights. What would happen?
They won't do it because then they won't have their draft insider.
Yeah, he'll be melted, and then they'll have to go back to Todd McShay.
That's why he's so pale. Todd McShay's been getting drained by Draftula since the beginning of time.
Yep.
Todd, come here. I'm thirsty.
And then you look at the peak in his hair, and you're like, oh, my God. It looks like the guy from the Munsters. Like, he looks like Eddie Munster.
He's Eddie's dad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's Dracula's uncle.
Yeah, they thought that big guy in the Munsters, what was his name? Frank Munster? Was that his name? Last name Cheese? But
I just knew Eddie.
Eddie was the kid, right?
That's
But
all
what
I
was
knew.
the father's name? Fred? Frank?
Teddy?
Teddy Munster?
I don't know.
Could've
I
been.
figure if it's Teddy and
what
Eddie.
What the hell is his name?
I don't know, dude. That
That's
show
gonna
was
drive
black
me-
and white.
Yeah, that show sucked. It was never any
I was
good.
gonna say, I didn't watch
Like,
that.
that was like, reruns of the Munsters.
Is that Elvira?
No. Is it? No.
I don't know, but
Mrs. Munster, I think, is what her name is. Do we have an idea? Of what the-
Marilyn Munster?
That's
Jeez.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
He got rid of a rib.
Lily
did?
Munster?
I don't know. What the hell was the father's name in that show?
Somebody says his
Herman?
Herman Munster. That's it. Yes.
Herman Mervin.
Yeah, Herman
your
Munster.
Name, wait a minute, your name is Herman Mervin? Yeah, do you want me to make you some sandwiches? Bad Santa. Somebody says, isn't Dracula Rob Zombie's son? Dragula is the Rob Zombie.
Draftula.
Yeah,
is what we're
Dracula
saying.
is Mel Kiper.
Right.
And MJ Melendez is Kadarius Toney. Hold on. Let's start with what Kadarius Toney did and what he was a part of. Kadarius Toney was on a team that was all about getting to the playoffs, winning championships because they knew that was the model, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Kadarius Toney had a skill set that a lot of people admired that thought, okay, well, maybe it'll work out here. Maybe we can bring it to fruition and we can have this skill set, which we saw it on the punt, right? His first catch as a Chief had us all bought in, right?
Oh, God, yes.
He had the Joker thigh pads. He went up there, adjusted his gloves in midair and caught it
Caught it,
one-handed.
yeah.
You're like, this is Tony Moyaki all over again, right?
And it was.
And then he couldn't catch a cold in negative temperatures with no shirt on. Like, just couldn't catch anything. And yeah, they won a Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, yeah, right? Like, they got to the ALDS, not because of MJ Melendez, but then the next year, when they go to the Buffalo Bills come to Kansas City, and they draw up this wonderful play, and he's offsides. Damn it. Okay.
Right.
Well, get away with it. They never call that. Sorry, Kadarius. But, like, come on. You just look at the umpire or the referee and say, hey, am I good? And he couldn't do that.
Right.
Then you go to New England. He tips a pass. It gets intercepted. And we see Mahomes erupt, right? Like, he erupted on that play with Kadarius Toney.
Yep.
Just frustrated the ref because obviously that call wasn't really called a whole lot. And then all of a sudden they call it on that play, but it's the right call.
It was absolutely the right call.
100%.
The Mahomes reaction, I've been there a lot as a father. Like, you get to that point where you're like, enough!
Right. You're just like, get me away from this problem.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's your own kids or your kids' friends, you're like, just maybe this weekend we don't have, so-and-so come over.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, oh, why? We'll talk.
We'll talk later. Yeah.
And, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, whoever else got together and said, we can't keep having this because we're on a track record to go towards something that we want to accomplish, which is a Super Bowl. I don't care if we've got to use this Rashee Rice guy who's got a ton amount of talent. Let's use him and incorporate him into our offense. I get it, Andy. You normally don't have rookies do this, but there's something there that's special. Kansas City Royals. What's the one thing that you said about spring training? What'd they say? We're a playoff team.
Yeah, we're a playoff team.
Right?
We're going to the playoffs. We expect to be in the playoffs. We're a playoff team, yes.
That means this team is not about experiments. You either have it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You're either part of it or you're not.
Right.
And to have these people say that let's give MJ 80 at bats. Nah, man. He's had enough time to have this sort of thing figured out.
What does 80 at bats get you, though?
I don't know. It's been 2.5 years.
Yeah.
This is, according to them and to most, this is a playoff team. If you're not ready or you're not at that level to be a part of a playoff team, I'm sorry, you don't play. And if you think that I'm being an ass and rude, go look at Billy Butler's career, how it ended in Kansas City. He was not a part of that roster in 14 going forward to the playoffs.
He was basically a bench player, yeah.
He was benched.
But you would have confidence more so in Billy Butler than you do in MJ Melendez right now.
Whereas MJ Melendez always strikes out, Billy Butler couldn't lift the ball.
Yeah.
It was every time somebody got on, Billy Butler, ground ball short, ground ball second, 6-4-3 or 4-6-3 double play. And it was like, damn it, why is he in the lineup?
Yeah, but
He's killing it.
They finally relinquished and took him out of that lineup,
they did.
and ended up going, not because they took him out of the lineup, they
Right.
ended up going to the World
And
Series.
then he sent
right?
one hell of a selfie.
Yeah, he really did.
Jeans and no shirt.
Yep.
But the thing is with MJ is that, like, I understand that baseball is different than football, but the narrative here of trying to become a winning team in the postseason and not letting certain things affect the team, because I've played Little League, and you always have the frustrating kid that's just not good, but he's on the team.
Look, I got hit over the head with a bat by that frustrating teammate. Well, I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
I was on third base. He ran down, and I sighed when he struck out. He hit me over the head with the bat.
And we've all been there where, you're playing your game, or maybe you watch the game, and you're like, all right, runners on second, third, 2 outs. Oh, man, Scotty's up.
Yeah.
Shoot. Come on, just a hit. Just
put it in play.
And then strike 3. Damn it. It's always Scotty that ruins it. And it's like, it seems like that's going to happen because you're not going to bat MJ last. You could bat him 8th, but they don't. They, for some reason, bat him 7th or 6th. And more often than not, we've seen it once already, the bases loaded, pop up in the infield. 2 guys on, strikeout. It's not working. And if you're going to be a team that is going to pride themselves on being a winner and trying to get back to where you were last year, maybe a little bit further, or even win this division, you don't have experimental pieces. You don't give guys chances. This is the big leagues. If my takes were terrible on After Hours, oh darn. If my takes are continuously terrible, you'll have a new co-host. That's the way the real world works.
Yeah, but I think also too, the relying on this guy, and again we've talked about it, like beating up on Kadarius Toney and Daniel Sorensen and Alex Rios and all these guys. I just find it to be wasted energy. They had a game on Wednesday now, right? Was that the last game we played? Wednesday
at noon
in Milwaukee, and you had an opportunity to score runs, and 2 and 3 struck out. Like, that can't happen. That's a bigger problem to me than MJ Melendez, because you had those clutch situations in a game, and you have the 2 guys that you want coming up, and neither of them got the job done. That has nothing to do with MJ Melendez. That has everything to do with them. And when we talk about MVP candidates, leaders of the team, those are the guys that have to come through. That's what ultimately happened with the Chiefs. The guys that you relied on, you all right?
Yeah, just slipped. Yeah, I'm good. I didn't know
hit your
I never. I got the finger.
Yeah, your funny bone and all that. Okay,
I know, I'm good.
But the guys that you pay and the guys that are your stars are the guys that got to show out. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice now, obviously Xavier Worthy. Like, those are the guys. And Chris Jones always made plays in the postseason. Frank Clark made plays in the postseason all the time. The guys you pay have to step up. And if you're going to be in a situation with the tying run or the go-ahead run at third and less than 2 outs, and you have 2 and 3 coming up, got to get that run in. There's no excuse for that. So that's why, for me, like, MJ Melendez is there. MJ Melendez is not going to be the reason why the Royals win or lose games. We know what MJ Melendez is. It has to start at the top of that lineup. And if those guys aren't productive, then this lineup is not going to be productive. And so Bobby Witt needs to come through. Vinny Pasquantino needs to come through. Salvador Perez needs to come through. Massey needs to come through. India needs to come through. Those are your guys that need to get the job done. And to talk about, MJ Melendez and what he's not doing, again, it's like talking about Kadarius Toney and what he's not doing. We can't worry about these nondescripts on the roster when the guys that are the high-paid players aren't getting the job done. And again, we're 6 games in. We'll see how this thing progresses. But that game on Wednesday wasn't lost because of MJ. He didn't even play in that game. That game was lost because of Bobby and Vinny.
Yeah, and again, I'm not here to bash MJ. I'm here to say what this team is and what they expect and what he's doing that is not there. That's just the same thing with Kadarius Toney. Like, I wasn't bashing Kadarius Toney. I was just saying, hey, if he can't do this, then he doesn't need to play. If you can't hit the baseball, you don't play. It's not like I'm going to sit here and dive into every single at bat by MJ Melendez or say, oh, he's the leg kicks this, the hands coming off the bat. It's not that. It's just that, like, I'm sorry, like, you're not hitting the baseball. You're not participating or putting any sort of effort towards a winning ball club. And yes, I understand, like, guys left on base in that game. Yes, they did not have a good offensive game on Wednesday. Vinny didn't play on Tuesday. They had Michael Massey in third. That wasn't your normal lineup. So I understand. And it was the start of the season. That's one game with your superstars not producing the top of the lineup. It's been 2.5 years with MJ Melendez not producing. There's a little bit of a difference.
There is. And again, they tried to fix that this offseason. Didn't work. So now they've got to scour the Angels and other teams that can't find ways to win. The Braves, maybe. Maybe they'll Acuna to us. But you start to look around and like, okay, who are these bottom feeders? Who are these bad teams? Start looking at their rosters. Who can we possibly get? Because if you are also going to be a playoff team, you need veteran guys in your lineup. You don't turn it over to the rookies. It's all about the veteran guys in that lineup, the Ben Zobrist of the world. Like, that's the guy we need to be looking to find. Who can be this year's Ben Zobrist? Because that's ultimately what the Royals need. They don't need Johnny Cueto. They don't need whoever they got in 14 at the deadline or anything like that. They need Ben Zobrist. They need to find that guy that they can get from Sacramento or that they can get from Atlanta or they can get from Houston or wherever the case may be. Who can be that Ben Zobrist guy? That's what the Royals need.
Drew Waters. I'm kidding. He just seems to be the hot name. Cycle followed by a home run.
And if you're Omaha, why do you tweet out what can't Drew Waters do? Go look at the responses, hit the big league, because that was my response to you. Stay healthy, hit the big league, like all this stuff. Like, don't put that out there, man. Come on. Social media department's got to be better than that.
Don't forget, tonight, Jack Caglione plays Double-A baseball.
Let's go.
You better believe your boy will be tapped in on that one.
What time is that?
Like 7.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, 6:37.
Perfect.
What's the weather in Arkansas?
I don't know. Did you see that tornado footage they had of the Arkansas? Looked like a movie.
A lot of the South Midwest yesterday, man.
There was, I think I saw yesterday there were over 200 tornado warnings in the United States.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. I literally thought I was watching like a trailer for like Twisters 2 or 3, I guess is what it would be, in Arkansas. So, hopefully those people are all doing all right, because that was, man, I don't even think tornado chasers were probably chasing that.
It was scary.
Those people are nuts.
Dude, look at that tornado.
Oh, my God.
That ain't
a tornado. That's like a wall.
Yeah, dude, that's an EF-12.
Who the hell's out there with that? Oh, look at this, man. Give me a Busch Light.
Hey, good beer. There's somebody braver than I. So you mentioned this yesterday. The Dodgers are the biggest favorites to win the World Series since 2005. So in 20 years, they are back in action tonight, by the way. So you can watch them win again.
Them and the Padres are back in action tonight.
And they don't play until June.
That's unbelievable to me. Like,
I don't think we play the White Sox until June. It's like a while till we play the White Sox.
Are the Twins this year's version of the White Sox? Like, you got to make hay against the Minnesota Twins, I think, this year.
God, I hope. Yeah, Detroit and Chicago play each other tonight. So somebody else is losing in the Central.
Yeah.
And then Minnesota, are they still playing the same teams? Oh, the Guardians play in Anaheim, so they're going to win.
No, the Guardians are out of Anaheim. I think they open.
No, the Guardians play in Anaheim.
Still in Anaheim?
8:38, Los Angeles Angels.
Oh, God. Oh, they were in San Diego. That's right. And then they went up the coast. Yeah. What
Royals
a terrible road trip.
They'll host the White Sox a month from tomorrow.
Okay, so there you go.
But a month, yeah.
A month from tomorrow. Damn it.
Which is good. I'm glad Major League Baseball got rid of the 18 games against everybody in your division. It got boring after. I didn't need to see the Tigers, White Sox, Twins, and whoever else 18 times apiece. And I'm sure everybody thought that about, Kansas City as well. Like, what do we need to see these teams 18 times apiece? At least we get to play everybody now.
Would you be comfortable putting $1,000 on the Dodgers to win the World Series right now?
Well, I think so. I mean, I don't think I would feel comfortable putting it on anybody else.
That's big money for us. I think $1,000 bet would be like, honey, you sure?
Yeah.
Like, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. Even though Freddie Freeman's out, they'll be fine.
Freddie Freeman falling in the shower is peak baseball.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sal fall down the stairs and he got hurt. Didn't Sal do that?
I think he was carrying a suitcase up the stairs.
And dropped it on his foot or something.
Yeah. I mean, look at weird baseball injuries. Like, only in baseball does a gentleman slip in the shower and he's out for a while. Like, now he's on the 10-day DL. They're not going to need him.
So if they don't win the World Series, is that considered an upset?
I think so.
No matter who they play?
No matter who they play,
if the Padres knock them out in the NLCS, upset?
That's an upset.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, it's an upset. So, yeah, they're the biggest World Series favorite in 20 years. I asked you guys this as we were walking out yesterday. If the Dodgers do not win the World Series this year, is that a bigger upset than the Giants beating the Patriots?
Were the 17-0 Patriots?
Yeah.
Or the 16-0 Patriots?
Yes. They were 17-0 because they were going for 18, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they would have been going for 19, right?
Was it 19?
Yeah, because you have to play
16
games.
regular season games, 17. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So the 18.
Well, I guess it depends on who they'd be playing, right?
Yeah, because the Giants were a wild card team.
Giants
right?
were a wild card team that year. Yes.
They beat Brett Favre or something like that.
Favre.
Yeah.
Damn, that Patriots team was good, dude.
Yeah.
That might be the best football team I've ever seen in my life.
But it goes down as a footnote because they didn't win it all. You know?
It's like the 13-second game. Who cares, right?
Yeah, who cares? You didn't win.
Next game you lose to Burrow. They're still hanging on to that 5 years later.
Oh, God, yes, they are. Cincinnati's now talking about moving. Did you see that story yesterday? They got one more year left at their stadium. We can move anywhere we want, they said.
Whoa.
Kentucky, get some star bonds going.
Yeah, I would say that Dodgers I would still say the Giants beating the Pats is a huge upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, baseball is just weird because football's one game, which is like you can prepare for it.
Yeah.
Whereas like the World Series, you play the NLCS, you have like 3 days off, and then it's like, all right, like you get a different pitcher every night, you get a different lineup, you get everything's different in the playoff. Whereas like the NFL, it's like it was one game, 1 week of practice, and the Patriots were the Patriots during that time, and the Giants went in there and kicked their ass.
Yeah, they win 17-10. I mean, like
they beat them with the defensive line.
Yeah, they destroyed them on the offensive line, kind of what we saw in February. That's why I'm asking. Like this Dodger thing right now is as hot and as big as anything that we've seen in sports. Right?
Yeah.
It is. I'll say it right now. It is a bigger show than what the Yankees were in the 90s. When the Yankees used to roll into town when they were good with Jeter and all them, and they would stay at the Fairmont down on the plaza, the crowds outside those hotels would be unbelievable. We were at Kelly's one night after a game. Posada, Jeter, Bernie Williams all walked in. Like those were the old days, right? When stuff like that would happen, guys would go out and not go back to their rooms and play Nintendo. And so they would go out and you'd see these guys. Like it was like the Beatles were in town, right? Like ask Josh sometime what it's like traveling with the Chiefs. He goes, it's unbelievable the amount of people that show up to these hotels and want to be there. That's the Dodgers now. It's going to be
on the plane.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yes,
hoping to see Taylor. But that's where the Dodgers are right now. They're the biggest rock star show in professional sports at this point in time because the NFL isn't going on. But I mean, people are going to show up. People are going to go crazy for the Dodgers. Like I think if they don't win the World Series this year, it may go down as the biggest baseball upset.
I mean, they should. They have a fantasy dream roster.
Yeah.
I mean, their pitching staff is elite. Their lineup's elite. Even with Freddie Freeman out, it's still insane.
Yeah.
Big upsets in sports history, though. Miracle on Ice.
Yeah, nothing beats that in America. I mean, the time of the country of where we were in the Cold War and all that, beating the Russians. I mean, that amateurs, 18-year-old beating professional Russians like that
during the Cold War.
Yeah, that's the one right there that will always be. Nothing, in my opinion, will ever top the Miracle on Ice when it comes to the greatest sports moments of our time.
One of the miracles on the pitch, Leicester City in 2016 won the Premier League. Insane, like irrelevant now, but like they were a team that came out of nowhere, had been, relegated many times, got promoted, beat teams like Man City, Man United, awesome. Tottenham, like all these teams, Chelsea.
That's cool.
And won the Premier League. There's actually footage of a guy who put a wager on them to win the Premier League at a bar. And they did it, and he won like $3.5 million.
Holy cow!
I'll have to find it, but yeah, he put it on.
When did he make that wager? At the beginning of the year?
The season. He's like, he was a Leicester. He was a fan, and he's like, yeah, screw it, we're good. We'll see what happens. And they ended up winning the Premier League, and everybody had their phones out watching his reaction. And when it was over, he's like, oh my god,
it's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I should have put some money on Nottingham Forest to win the damn thing this year. They're playing some good soccer, right, or football as they call it.
One of the biggest upsets I remember seeing it live on ESPN when it was fun. Appalachian State beating Michigan.
That was a good one. Yeah.
I'll never forget that, man. Yeah. Opening weekend of college football, and I believe was Drinkwitz there at the time?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay,
that's 20 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, he wasn't even a coordinator then.
I don't even know that he was born back then.
I don't know.
I mean, he's young, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's really young.
That. Yeah. Cavs down 3-1 to the Warriors. That was a big upset.
That's a big upset. Yeah.
Average Joes in dodgeball were
good
50 to 1 odds.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
He put money on it and won. So
the Cleveland Indians in 1988 when they beat the Yankees and they won the pennant and Bob Uecker celebrated. That's a big upset. I mean, they were not a good team that year.
Yeah, and then you can go back to 1906 when the Chicago Black Sox beat the Yankees or whoever they played.
Yeah.
Worst upset in KC sports history for you? Is that the one? The Titans over the Chiefs at Arrowhead? I mean, we can ask DJ.
Ugh. I don't know that was necessarily an upset, though.
You were a home team playing Marcus Mariota, and you lost.
We were definitely favored.
At that point in time, though, it was like you kind of expected to lose going into those games back then. You know?
That was the end of the era. Yeah, and then the new era began the next year.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the end of that. No, the biggest upset, I don't even know if you want to call it. I mean, blowing a 28-point lead to Indianapolis. I mean, that's just the biggest upset you could have. I mean, that was That was
era.
I mean, yeah, it was.
2 years before, or whatever.
Yeah, that's as big as upset as you could potentially get.
Not allowing a touchdown and still losing to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Same era.
They have same era. That was a bad game as well. I mean, there's been some bad ones. I don't know if the Royals have ever had a bad loss because they've never really been favored in anything. And when they were in the postseason, they went to the World Series for the most part. So I don't know that the Royals have ever had one of those big upsetting type losses. I just think for the Chiefs, I mean, when you blow
on the
28.
Colts?
Maybe, yeah, could be.
97 hosting Denver, the number 1 seed.
But you had John Elway too, you know.
You were the 1 seed. You played at home, and you had the best defense in football, and he came in and beat you and won the Super Bowl, and then won it again the next year.
Yeah.
Damn John Elway, man. Ugh. Talk about people you hated when you were a kid.
I mean, Bucknell and Bradley, if you're a KU fan, factor in. Norfolk State, if you're a Missouri fan, factors in. I'm sure for K-State, losing to Texas A&M in that first Big 12 championship game still, bothers a lot of folks and whatnot for that type of thing. So you've got those upsets out there. But for me, it's, you blow a 28-point lead, then you have to drive back and listen to somebody watch the game, do a post-game show.
913-586-7965. John Kruk mentioned something that is simple that he can't do. What it is, we'll play it for you, but I have a question for you all. 913-586-7965. What is something that's simplistic, that's a task or something that you just can't do? 913-586-7965. We'll get to that on the other side on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
What the hell's wrong with your station?
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control were out this week, and they've done an amazing job already with our yard. They came out on Monday, they looked at it, and they went, okay, it's not as bad as you said it is, but it ain't great. So we're going to take care of this for you. They came by, they cut it, they put the striping in the lawn. It looks awesome. Came back later on that day, put the fertilizer down, put the pre-emergent down, and now I'm just waiting for my lawn to be green and be the best lawn on the block. They're going to take care of maintenance of that lawn all year long to make sure that this lawn finally gets the love that it needs and the love that it deserves and the love that I wasn't able to give to that lawn over the last 12 years or so. At Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, they have college-educated professionals, so they know exactly what they're doing. They study this stuff. They're always on top of their game. And with the pest control portion, they're going to put a dome basically over our yard to keep out the mosquitoes, the fleas, and the ticks. The people are going to love it, and my dog is going to love it as well. So get in touch with Aspen Lawn and Pest Control right now. They've been in business since 1985, and they offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. Plus, if you mention this ad, you'll get a free estimate and up to half off your first application. So expect the best. Don't wait. Call them today at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, is the best place to bet on sports. There's absolutely a loaded sports calendar this week, and it doesn't matter if you're into basketball, baseball, hockey, or any other sport. Check out some of their exclusive promotions, Dinger Tuesday, Hump Day parlays, and golf profit boost tokens over the weekend. With baseball season here, you know I'm happy to bet on the hometown team, and hopefully the Royals can win their division this year. You can bet on that as well if you'd like to on FanDuel. And right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets for every winning $5 bet. $200. All you got to do is win a $5 bet as a new customer. So check out FanDuel. Use my promo code KFNZ to make every moment more. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued with nominal drawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement Kansas Casino LLC. Gambling problem? Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit KansasGamblingHelp.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com an appliance and HVAC part solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Attention car shoppers, Kevin Harlan here with Rob Seid of Rob Seid Ford in South Kansas City. Hey Rob, what's going on?
We are making 2025 the best year in Rob Seid Ford history, and we are doing it with 4 simple steps.
Simple is what I love most about Rob Seid Ford. So Rob, what's the plan?
It starts with Rob Seid Ford's non-commissioned sales staff, Kansas City's lowest prices on brand new Fords, the best trade-in values, the biggest selection we've ever had. With those 4 steps, it is my personal mission to make Rob Seid Ford the easiest, most value-driven Ford dealership in Kansas City. No BS.
That's why Rob Seid Ford is the only dealership I'll send my friends and family to. But you're forgetting one thing.
What's that?
Rob Seid Ford is Kansas City's top-rated Google Ford dealership.
Good call. Can't forget about that. Check out Rob Seid Ford in South Kansas City at 135th and State Line, ROBSIGHT.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On Missouri side, inbound I-29 from 435 into downtown, about 15 minutes. Checking 435, you're moving at posted speeds or better all around the metro. Kansas side, K10 eastbound from K7 over to 69 is a 9-minute drive. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Seven o'clock tonight, Northwest Arkansas at Tulsa. The Caglione season starts. Of course, I'm watching. Of course, I'll be tuned in. It's free.
Drive down there. It's only 3 hours to Tulsa.
I won't be able to drive by the time we get to that game.
Yeah, that's probably true. We're going to be at the Sand Trap today at 2 o'clock. If you want to join us, come on by. Jerry Anselmo's picking up the tab. Maloney told me he actually washed the glasses for this event today, so that's good.
Wow, really stepping it up for
yeah,
us, Rob.
right. Yeah, usually you got to go down there and order stuff out of a bottle because they keep a dog behind the bar. And no, I kid. That was a place in Salina, Kansas called the I forget what the name of the place was, the Hideaway or something like that. You walked in there, and the bartender was Leonard. And I wish. And the bar back in the day did not have air conditioning except a window unit. And Leonard kept his dog behind the bar. And the rule of thumb was never order anything in a glass because the dog's back there licking all the glasses. And so it had a window unit air conditioner. It got all the dog fur in it. It would shoot out fire every once in a while. You just sit at the bar, shag car. I mean, it was Salina, Kansas to a T. And then you went to the bar where the women get undressed and dance. It was a single wide, and she was pregnant.
And Joe DiMaggio was still playing baseball.
This was in the 90s.
There's juice all over the place.
Those are the good bars.
John Kruk, one of us all.
Well, in between innings, I'm toying with this MLB thing, and man, is it just winning.
Did you get the password?
No, it says I can't get emails on that email.
Right, because you have to probably reset the password.
I know, but when I try to reset the password, I put in a new one, and it doesn't do anything.
Huh. You sure you still have that account?
I have no idea. Apparently not.
Outside corner, 1 and 2. Well, we can ask Mike Harris from the Phillies.
Yeah, I might have to meet with Mike Saturday.
If he can just have him reset the account one more time. And we can change the email. And you'll be good as gold.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Who did you say that was?
John Kruk.
Oh, I thought it was Jay Binkley.
Oh, well.
I've never seen anybody on a help desk phone more than Jay Binkley.
Not only that, but that sounds like every single one of us here at Odyssey.
Yeah.
When we have to go see Craig Sawyer.
Yeah, Chris.
Be like, or Chris Sawyer. We're like, Chris. He's like, what? I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. It's the company. I was out of town. I didn't get emails, but I had to reset my password, and I didn't do it in time, so they just threw everything out.
Right.
And it happened at Jackstack, too, because we used AltiPro for our scheduling, which is kind of what we use here as well. And if you didn't update your password every freaking 2 months, they kicked you out of the system. They would just kick you out, and then, like, your schedule was gone, all this sort of stuff. Then you had to go to a supervisor and have them redo your email and restart it. And it's just like, all right, your password now is 1485 66 35 pink dash. And
Does this work for you? No!
I'm like, okay, well, when you log in, then you can reset your password and then go back. But again, look, it's that way because of scammers. Like, it's they're pros now, man. Like, we talked about how baseball wasn't the same in the 30s that it is now.
Yeah.
Scammers then were just coming to your door and be like, would you like to buy this product? You're like,
Nah,
no.
I'm good. And
Now
then they
like,
leave.
They're like, hi, your kid's in jail and I need $5,000 to get him out. You're like, oh my God, here. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But is there a simple task like that you're not good at?
Yeah, growing grass. That's why I called the guys over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. I'm not kidding. I could not grow grass for the life of me. I think a
What
lot
kind
of
of grass?
Anything, like, anything, front lawn, and then I try to grow crops in the yard, and I can't get any fruit to bloom, and I think it's because I don't.
Tough.
Well, but I mean fruit like peppers and stuff. The fruit after the flower, and I don't think I have enough sun back there. I'm watering. I'm wasting all the. I'm out. So gardening.
Start with like mint and basil.
I do have basil. Basil grows fine.
I was just saying, if you can do that, then elevate up little by little.
I don't have enough sun in the backyard.
That is your main ingredient.
And that is a big, big, big deal. And like I found myself at one point, like throughout the day, just moving the pots of plants around to kind of chase the sun. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's a lot. And the basil I like because I make basil margaritas in the summertime. Ooh. Shout out, Emily. And then
was that an Emily staple?
Oh, Emily loves the basil margs.
I'm definitely gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll make you a basil marg.
Yeah, that sounds
sometime.
good.
Yeah. You got to get the fresh lime juice. You know, no fake like that sweet and sour mix. That crap
No.
get kicked to the curb. So growing stuff, I can't. It's horrible. It's awful. I can't do anything like that.
Dustman?
What I can't do? I can't iron.
Oh,
iron.
I think that's a craft. I think that's a craft that's dead.
Yeah, it's steaming now. You get steamer.
Yeah, I just always, whenever I needed something, would like start my shower off really hot and go hang my clothes in the bed. I'm dead serious.
We did that in college, like we were talking about the other day.
College,
we, like 8 showers, head turn it all on, everybody's shirt hanging in there to steam out. And
well, like
whatnot.
I would do the ironing, right? And then I would like take it off the ironing board. I'm like, damn it, now I have like a huge random like lightning bolt crease down my back. Like, that's not a good look for me. Like I was that guy at like 19, 20 coming home and being like, Mom, can you iron my shirt? She's like, oh yeah. And just a pro, dude.
Yeah.
Easy.
Moms are good at that.
Out,
So good.
Knew when to where to spray the starch.
Exactly. Yep.
Starts that crouch over there a little bit. Give me a little, little, Lois Griffin nose down there. And I would just be like, I just couldn't do it. I'd have like random creases. I literally cannot iron. I never ironed.
I can. I hate it, but I do it now because I'm not paying anymore for it.
Yeah.
And I don't wear enough button-down iron shirts that I, have to have. And so when I need it, I'll just do it myself now instead of paying $3 or $4 to get it done.
Is there a simple task you can't do?
Whistling. Yeah, we have a I know. We have a texture snapping.
Oh, snapping's a good one.
Can't snap their fingers.
Yeah.
And do their step. They can do it all by yourself.
I used to be able to whistle. I'm not as good anymore.
I almost had it the other day.
I wish I could do the
the
red ass
fingers,
whistle where they're just like.
I like taking the acorn tops and putting my thumbs in between and blowing and making that
You
whistle.
do that with a blade of grass too?
I can't with a blade of grass now.
From the 816, the state of Missouri allows me to grow 6 ounces a month, Bob. If you need any gardening help, give me a holler.
Come on over.
Yeah. This is called Purple Sticky Punch. You don't need a whole lot of sun, just UV light and some foil.
I've thought about, this is how, nuts I've gotten with trying to grow vegetables. I thought about buying, a grow tent and putting it in the house. I'm like, oh, wow, what am I doing here? This is...
Or you can just go support your local farmers market.
You
who
could,
do all the trouble for you.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But this actually kind of started during COVID, and we didn't know, oh, my God, we're not going to be able to get lettuce.
Go ask that teacher of yours how to grow a cucumber.
Yeah, well, Miss Brennan, she's dead, though. That's the worst part. Yeah.
sad.
I did grow some cucumbers, and they were good, but not
nice.
a lot. You know,
Yeah.
not as many as I wanted.
Hey, don't forget, we'll have Ron Slay on in about 45 minutes. Coming up, we're going to talk about the Final Four. Who you got, why you have them, and what are you expecting with all 4 number 1 seeds. That's right, the Final Four is back after it seems like a month. Here on 96.5 The Fan, you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, your home for Kansas City sports.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Jonathan India here, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Baseball fans, take a swing and make entries all on your favorite players with Underdog. With baseball officially back, you can make every game more exciting with Underdog. It's one of the leading sports apps that you can play in your state. Yeah, on the Missouri side. Do you want to win up to 1,000 times your money? You can over there. It's easy. Just choose which player will go higher or lower than their stats, strikeouts, home runs, and more. You can pair it up with your favorite leagues, teams, and choose across multiple sports. Join the millions of fans who have already won billions of dollars playing at Underdog. I love how easy it is to use the app. Download the Underdog app today and sign up using that promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you make your first deposit. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Some things just go together, like peanut butter and jelly, or a Casey's spicy chicken sandwich and a 49-cent medium fountain drink, or a Casey's breakfast sandwich and a 49-cent fountain drink, or even Casey's limited time Italian deli sliders and a 49-cent fountain drink. You get the idea. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. See store for details.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-265-7681. 800-265-7681. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-265-7681.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northland, 435 southbound, starting to slow past I-35 and stay sluggish down towards 48th Street. Construction taking away the left lane. I-70 westbound, a bit slow past Prospect over towards the Paseo. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Join us for the Fans Draft Party on Thursday, April 24th from the Landing in Liberty. We'll be broadcasting live, plus your chance to win $965 and an autographed Chiefs helmet in our draft contest. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
You know why Jack Caglianone's name is JAC?
It's his initials.
Yeah, Jeffrey Allen Caglione.
I had somebody tell me a while back, they go, I'm surprised you're not calling him Jeffrey yet.
I will if he sucks.
Oh, yeah, Marv.
But he won't. There's no way.
Kadropius.
Yeah.
You don't get the job done, Jack. You're Jeffrey to me.
Yeah, when he was in trouble, it was Jeffrey Allen.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. You think in Buffalo, Josh Allen throws 4 picks in a game? Come on, Joshua.
Were you ever Robert when you were in trouble, Bob, or was it always Bob?
You know, it's interesting. When I'm in trouble with my wife, it's Bob.
Oh.
And she says Bob.
Serious.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
What is it when you're
just babe
not
or
Robert or Stud Muffin, Hunka Burnin' Love,
Honey Pie,
Adonis.
Okay. Carrington. I'm kidding. Come here, Bobby.
Ooh, Bobby.
Bobby, yeah, I'm still Bobby to my family.
Yeah. Didn't know this trick from what we simple task you couldn't do. Somebody says from the 302, I used to throw my uniforms in the dryer with a wet rag when I was in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
Couldn't iron to save my life. And I feel like you have to
That's a trick. Yeah, my mom told me that.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
A wet rag in the dryer.
Wet rag in the dryer.
Really?
Yeah.
TIL.
My mom taught me that. Yeah, so I never iron anymore. Wet my towel up a little bit, a clean towel in the sink, put it in there.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that. How long do you put it on high heat?
High heat.
Could you just do
10, 15
release?
minutes. Yeah.
Because I don't dry things unless it's stuff that I don't care if it shrink, like shirts and stuff like that, pants. I have a drying rack. I'm very OCD about that. I don't put a lot of stuff in the dryer, underwear, socks, workout clothes, that kind of stuff. So that's interesting. I never knew that with the dryer.
Do you guys remember the March Madness tournament still going on?
It is, yeah. See, this is where it loses a little bit for me, right? Like, we played Sunday.
So you agree with the take that I wrote into the script?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about that actually last night. I'm like, yeah, Saturday's cool, but then you got to wait again, swinging around till Monday. And I've been to these Final Fours before. Like, Sunday's just like this wasted day, and everybody's just killing time and whatnot.
Why don't they have the Final Four on Thursday night?
That'd be great. I love that idea, Dusty. I think it's a great idea.
I was thinking about this last night, and I understand why they play so many games early on because there's so many teams, right?
Yeah.
There's 68 teams. You got to go quickly. But even the next weekend, they did the Sweet 16, the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right. And then you wait a week until Saturday at 5 o'clock. Now, a lot of people, once their team's out, they're turned off. They don't care.
Yeah. Have you heard anybody around these parts talk about March Madness, really?
Not a lot.
Yeah, because Kansas and Missouri got bounced by noon on Thursday. It was over.
And why not have the Final Four on Thursday and have the national championship on Saturday?
I love it because you have the Final Four on Thursday night. What was on TV last night? There were very few baseball games on. Very few. I watched the end of the Yankee game when we got back from soccer last night. Thursday night for me is a better TV night, in my opinion, than Monday night is. Thursday, you're gearing up for the weekend. You're excited. You're having a good time. Maybe you have a couple of pops, and you roll into Friday and mail it in, right?
Right.
So Thursday night was always the biggest TV night. I mean, must-see TV. Thursday night, everybody had appointment TV on Thursday night. Then you went to the bars, right?
Yeah.
So why not? I love that idea.
Because you don't have any
it's so good. There's no competition.
There's no competition. They last played on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right? Saturday or Sunday. So Sunday, they travel, Monday afternoon. They're in San Antonio Tuesday, Wednesday. They practice. They've been together all year long. It's a long season. Play Thursday. You get everybody locked in. You get Friday to have the day to, separate it because it doesn't change the normal schedule because they play the Final Four on Saturday. They play the Monday game. The tip will be at 8:35.
And that's the other thing. You're tipping it off at 9 o'clock on Monday night. tipping it off at 8:30 or 9 o'clock on a Saturday night is a lot different. You can have your national championship in a later time slot if you want. You don't have to worry about the kids, going to bed early and missing the game and all that kind of stuff because of school. I like that idea a lot, and they really should reconsider that. I think it would be perfect if they did it Thursday, Saturday.
Like we wait 2 weeks for 8 teams to finish.
Yeah.
I just feel like with the competition you have around, because the NBA, we know the numbers are down. There's no NFL going on. We're just speculating who's getting drafted where or who's going to throw at their pro day today in Colorado.
Right.
And, baseball's started, but
it's not hot and heavy right now.
After opening day and the next day, you're kind of
dissipates for a while.
Right, yeah. And then it's like you have an opportunity to just absolutely own a full week again of sports. But they do Saturday at 5:09, then 7:39 is the next game.
Which we'll see when that second game starts.
Yeah, and then by, again, 8 o'clock on a Saturday, if you don't have any interest, you're like, well, it's not the national championship game. We know who's already in because Florida-Auburn played first. And then Duke plays second. So, again, like you play that game on Thursday night, everybody's locked in, but it's like, well, they don't have to go work on Friday. You don't have to.
So, you get the Final Four on Saturday. Sunday's a day of rest. Then you got to go to work on Monday. You work your ass off all day on Monday. You want to watch the game. 8:30?
Yeah.
I could barely keep my eyelids open after 8. And then I got to get up and go to work on Tuesday, get the kids to school, all this kind of stuff. Like, no, I think your plan is absolutely the best plan that they could do.
I think for us it is. I don't know about for NCAA. I think ratings-wise, they really want that Saturday with the 2 games. Because that Saturday outranks Monday like every year. And just last year, for instance, 18.8 million on Saturday, 14 on Monday.
You know why? Because it was a Saturday.
And there were 2 games.
Yeah, but I think because of the Saturday, people kind of just, Monday comes along and you've worked all week and, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. I mean, it's ridiculously late.
I know why the NFL waits a week. They have to. They have media obligations for Super Bowl week of the, like we were just.
And they also need to rest those bodies up too, to make sure everybody's fresh and healthy and all that kind of stuff. I don't have a problem. I would still just like 1 week in between a conference champ, but I get it. Whatever you're going to do. But yeah, the Final Four, it's college basketball. You guys are used to playing every other day or back-to-backs in the NBA.
They play Tuesday and Saturday in the regular season, or they play Wednesday, Saturday, or Monday, Saturday.
There's no reason you can't do it on Thursday, Saturday.
Sure
I'm sure they've done studies and all this kind of stuff and whatnot and about why they do it the way that they do. But maybe they, as times are changing, and we'll hear from Jim Nantz later on in the show what he said about college basketball, which is scare the hell out of people. With the way that the times are changing, I think you get more of an audience on a Thursday, Saturday. I just do. That's my opinion.
So speaking of the Final Four, Auburn or Florida, who do you have?
I'm going to take Auburn in this one because Bruce Pearl. I almost went to Auburn. It was like the only other school that I looked at. So I'll go Auburn over Florida in that one, that SEC battle.
Dr. Mackenstein?
Yeah, I'll go Florida. I think they've kind of played pretty poorly, and they've still been able to eke out these wins thanks to Walter Clayton Jr. in the final 2 minutes.
WC Jr.
I think they play a really good game this time and actually win.
Who do you like in that game, Dusty?
Somebody from the SEC.
Yeah, it's a good call.
No, I'm going to take Auburn. They've been there all year. I am concerned with Johnny Broom, who got injured in the.
That was a bad injury.
Yeah.
And still kind of came back and played. But is he the same? Florida's big and they're deep as well. I think it's going to be a great game. I think Auburn wins though. I think they're the better team. Throughout the entire season, Florida's been hot of late, and I get it. When you get in the playoffs, it's
you get hot in the postseason, man. Yeah,
but I'm going to take Auburn just because I liked Auburn all year, so I'm going to take Auburn. The other game,
now do it based on mascot. Are you taking a tiger over a gator or a gator over a tiger? If a gator and a tiger were to square off, who wins? I think it's the tiger.
Really?
I think the tiger's faster.
I think he's faster too, but the gator's got more strength in that chomp. Like one chomp
chomp
to the leg.
You got to get to the tiger, though, and the tiger may get to the gator before the gator
On
kind of
his back,
wakes
he
up.
kinda- yeah.
or tigers need water. Let them lure themselves in, and then
They
you grab
do.
it by the neck and you do the gator roll, and it's over.
Yeah, but this isn't a boxing ring. Tigers and gators do not fight in the water. They fight in rings.
Oh. Did you see that alligator on the golf course this past weekend? It was a damn dinosaur, dude.
Oh, my God.
Like a 1,000-pound gator.
Yeah, they crawled out of the swamp. How you doing?
Alligators can reach up to speeds of 35 miles an hour on land in short bursts.
Are you kidding? How fast can a tiger go, though? I mean, can you see that little alligator with those little legs moving?
I mean, there's a reason why alligators are still on this earth.
Yeah.
30 to 40 miles an hour. It'd be close.
It'd be good
for a sprint.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take the tiger, though, so I go Auburn.
Duke versus Houston.
I really want to go with Houston in this one. I really want to pull for Houston, but Duke's got the best player, and they're the best team. They've been consistently the best team all season long, so I got to go with Duke.
So you have Duke, Auburn. I'm taking Duke.
Yeah, I'm going to take Duke.
I don't know why I didn't take them all the way. I went with St. Don's. So I thought they were the story. I thought Pitino would do this miracle run. Obviously, I'm terrible luck. I won't be in Tulsa tonight. I won't be at the K tonight.
Yeah, but I think also, though, Dusty, like the St. John's pick seemingly made sense when that bracket came out. They're playing good basketball. Everybody was bought in. Like that was a sentimental pick, but I didn't hate that pick. I told you when you said you picked St. John's. I love that pick.
St. Don's. I will say this, though. If it's been chalk all year, it might as well just be chalk to the end.
Yeah.
Auburn and Duke have been the two best teams all year. 4 number one seeds made it. Why not Auburn and Duke? Duke wins the national championship.
Blue Devil or Cougar.
Always go with the Cougar.
I think I got to go with the Blue Devil. He's got a stick. He can fend off the Cougar.
Probably got some magic. I know you're talking to Cougar Chow, so I'm going to go with Houston there.
Cougar what?
Cougar Chow. I told you that. That was my nickname in Nashville.
I guess we'll bring that up with Ron Slay at 7:45.
Cougar Chow.
Did you know that?
I did not know that. Did you know that?
I didn't know. He told me
that's my nickname now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Cougar Chow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
like father, like son.
There we go. Yeah. So I mean, again, Final Four on Saturday, national championship on Monday, and all your tournament coverage here on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Twin Peaks Eats, Drinks, Scenic Views. Felix Enrique Uzama. He was on with my girl, Kay Adams, on Up and Adams. What did he say about Travis Kelce and Mahomes' work ethic and why it's contagious and why this team always wins is because of those two leaders? We'll explain next on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
Whoever that bozo was doing the armpit fart thing, come on, man.
Catch Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if erectile dysfunction is making a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Heartland Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health.
Looking for the best food, drinks, and game day vibes? The Landing Eatery and Pub in Liberty has you covered. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7 p.m. with great drink specials. Game day buckets, 5 beers or seltzers. Keep the party going Saturday and all day Sunday. Catch every play on over 68 TVs while enjoying our massive 102-item menu. Love live music? Our neon-lit smoking patio has bands Thursday through Sunday. Don't miss out. Check out our daily specials at landingeateryandpub.com.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
It's time to find out who was in the zone. Presented by AutoZone. Looking at professional basketball, Boston has been on an absolute tear throughout the month of March. With both of their all-star guards averaging over 20 points, they look to make one final push to clinch the 1 seed in the East. It'll be a tall task, but with only being behind a handful of games, it's more than possible. Can they make a late-season move up in the standings? In the Zone is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
And we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education. But that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We've got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northland 435 southbound slows past I-35 down towards 48th Street with construction taking away the left lane. Kansas side 70 eastbound past 57th Street. A brief slowdown with a stalled off to the right shoulder. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Lots of action tonight locally. Royals Baltimore tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Vern's pregame show starts before the Royals pregame show starts. Vern's on deck show here on 96.5 The Fan. Northwest Arkansas in action against Tulsa. So Jack Caglianone's debut in AA tonight at 7 o'clock. How can the people watch that? You just go to MLB.
I think you just go to MILB.com, and I think you can stream those minor league games for free if somebody's got their iPhone set up at the ballpark.
No doubt about it, yeah. No doubt about that. Also, don't forget, we'll have Ron Slay on at 7:45. We'll do the Richard of the Week as well. We'll do the out of left field question.
My Richard of the Week is good this week, I'll tell you.
And then don't forget, April 24th, we do the fans draft party. It's at the Landing in Liberty. Shout out to Mr. Maloney. We'll see him today at the Sand Trap from 2 o'clock till whenever.
Question mark.
Feel free to come say hi, have a few sodas and pops with your boys.
Mm-hmm.
And then on April 24th at the Landing in Liberty, starting at 6 p.m., Binkley and Unicero will be broadcasting live the first round.
Again, why don't we just call him 10?
Well, somebody asked me that the other night and said they were still laughing about that comment. Draft contest is back. You have a chance at $965 plus an autographed Juwan Taylor helmet as a prize. 1 point for every player drafted in the first round. 3 points if you get that player right on that team. The sheet must be turned in prior to the number 1 pick on the clock, and the whole entire fan staff will be in attendance. So it'll be a good time to go out there and smash some Ben Maller chicken fingers or some Bob's Bavarian pretzel, all sorts of stuff like that.
That's the special that night. Big Bob's Bavarian pretzel, $9.65. See how they did that? You get a couple of pretzels for $9. It's great. It's an unbelievable pretzel. It's the best in the world.
So yesterday up at Adams, she had Felix and Duque Uzama on, and he has this to say about Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Is there an idea that this team wasn't fit enough or something? Because I'm seeing Travis training like crazy, and Patrick Mahomes, I've seen on Instagram, a lot of that. Is that why the physicalities as a focus?
They're always like that. Those guys are always fit to compete. I see Pat there early in the mornings, always at the facility. Like, he's a competitor. So it just them being huge competitors is basically like encouraging all the other guys to step their game up, train harder, be harder in the film room and everything like that, so we can eventually get our goal to win another Super Bowl.
So he talks about the work ethic and the leadership that those two guys have, and that's just kind of the way things go, right? Like, you're starting to see that development happen with the Royals roster. Like, Bobby Witt Jr. and all those guys showed up to spring training all together early, kind of like they did in 14 and 15 when that 15 team went on their run. Before they did that, they all showed up to spring training together and put together that run because it's contagious. You see the good guys do it. You're like, well, if that guy's doing it, then I should probably do it.
That's exactly right.
Right. And you see a guy like Travis Kelce, surefire, first ballot Hall of Famer, Mahomes as well, multiple titles, excuse me, and they continue to do it year in and year out. And you see Patrick Mahomes working his ass off out there with Bobby as well, not Witt, his trainer. And, you know, I'm sure they see the criticism like, oh, Mahomes is, dad bod, and Kelce looks like he's out of shape. Okay, well, hold my beer and watch this offseason because I'm going to make something special. And then you hear a guy like, FAU out there on Up and Adams say, like, that's kind of the standard. Like, we see those guys get started. It's like, all right, 87 and 15 are back in the lab. Time for us to get our asses back in there, too. And let's get focused on the season because, again, we're still several months away until training camp starts. But why not get ahead of it? Like, why start January 1st? Why not start, December 1st on your new year, new me? Why not start earlier? And when they do, you see those people do it. It's like one of your friends. Hey, you've lost a lot of weight. What'd you do? I just started walking, eating healthier. Okay.
Yeah.
You look happier. You look healthier. Oh, I am. Okay. That seems contagious. I want to do that. That all of a sudden starts to be contagious. Then two people do it. Other two people in the friend group start to do it, and it works. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, their leadership on the field is great. Their leadership off the field is even better.
Yeah, it is. And I was talking to somebody yesterday about, like, how was your workout? Somebody asked me yesterday, right? And I was like, it was not that good. I, missed about 6 weeks of running because I had an injury, and trying to get back into shape, boy, it is harder than I ever thought it would be. I'm 47 years old right now. I'm like, damn. Trying to get back into shape really sucks. So as a professional athlete, that's why they don't take time off. People are like, oh, they get all off season. Really? Have you ever stopped working out at any point in your life and then tried to pick it back up? You're completely out of shape. You're out of whack. Everything is not right. So these guys, maybe they take 2 weeks off or whatever it is, but they're back in there getting themselves in shape. And they're also sending a message to the rest of their team. If you're sitting around getting fat and happy, you're probably not going to be part of this team because the two leaders on this team, the two Hall of Famers, one guy is going to retire most likely at the end of this season. The other guy is going to be the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. They're in there busting their ass right now. That sends a message to the other 50 dudes on that roster like, they're busting it, you better be busting it. And you're not going to be that guy that lets down Patrick Mahomes or that lets down Travis Kelce. So you're battling not only to get into great shape, to be in great shape, you're doing it for them because they're out there busting it. And if those two guys are busting it in the offseason and getting ready, everybody better be busting it this offseason. It's a great message.
I mean, it's the culture that we talk about, right? Building a culture and a foundation in the NFL is the hardest thing to do. It starts at the top that you always talk about, Bob. It's the ownership. The Chiefs have that. They got the head coach. And then finding those leaders in the locker room that are going to be on the field fighting those battles with you. I don't think there's two better guys in it right now than Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes leading a team.
I mean, it's no secret that the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl and winning the games that they're winning because of their leaders. And then you look at Aaron Rodgers, who's sitting in a dark house, licking toads, and his team stinks. Like, there's a direct correlation to that. It's all about that lead. Your quarterback has to be that leader, has to be the guy that stirs the pot for everybody. Your quarterback's there, your quarterback's invested, your top-notch players invested, everybody's going to be invested. You got your top-notch quarterback licking toads in a cabin in Montana, well, that sends a message to everybody else that it's just not that important. And then he goes to Egypt during mandatory OTA or minicamp or whatever it was, skipped out on that. We wonder why the Jets stunk under Aaron Rodgers? Because he sucks. He sucks. And so that's why that team is bad. Look at all the teams that are good. The quarterbacks, they set the example. The Josh Allens, the Joe Burrows of the world. These guys are setting that example, and everybody else is following them because they're saying, if these guys are doing it, I'm going to do it. Meanwhile, one man licks toads and goes to Egypt.
Is there other teams in the league that show this sort of commitment and dedication to being a winning franchise that you can think of?
I don't know. It's hard to say from the outside looking in because I don't follow it as much,
Yeah.
But, I mean, you look at who are consistently good now in the NFL. It's Buffalo. It's Kansas City. It's Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean,
Who else?
Philadelphia.
Yeah. No. I mean, yeah. I'm sure Jalen Hurts is working his ass off right now.
Absolutely.
I'm sure
Guy's
he's
a
in there
tank.
setting the example. I mean,
Sure, Saquon is too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Saquon Barkley's probably busting it and getting ready to not miss this season like he normally does every other year. I'm sure C.J. Stroud is busting it down in Houston at this point in time. They've been consistently good for the last couple of years. So, no, leadership starts with your top-paid players. Those are the guys that got to lead. Those are the guys that got to set the example, and those are the guys that everybody's going to follow. If your leader's out there, playing tiddlywinks and licking toads and hanging out in Egypt when he should be at practice and doing the things for a team, that absolutely has an effect on everybody. It absolutely does.
Well, and I think about like Travis Kelce giving that speech a couple years ago before the Super Bowl, and in tears. I believe it was for the most recent 49ers Super Bowl win, and in tears, and got everyone really hyped up. I'm just picturing, and I know it's one guy, but I'm picturing, like, does Jamar Chase do that?
Maybe
I don't
no.
know.
I mean,
probably not.
Probably not. I just probably not.
But again, like, is Jamar Chase the same person as Travis Kelce? Like, he may not be that rah-rah leader. Like, Jamar Chase may be a guy that just leads from his play on the field, right? Which, I mean, my God, if you're going to be a wide receiver, follow this gentleman, right? If you want to be a tight end, you follow Travis Kelce. And some people are just better at being overt, out there leaders. Some people lead quietly, lead by, as you said, lead by example. What was the thing? Walk quietly and carry a big stick or something like that back in the day. That's kind of Jamar Chase. But some guys lead different ways. But you got to have those leaders, and your leaders do have to be your most prominent players, at least in my opinion. They have to be, because they're the guys that are making the money. And if they set the example, everybody else is going to follow, because don't you want to make the money that Bobby Witt's making, or the money that Travis Kelce's making, or Jamar Chase? Yeah, they did something right. I'm going to follow those guys.
And you might not necessarily show up in the win category towards the end of the season, but again, if your leaders are working harder, then everybody else will follow suit.
Yep.
It's kind of like back in the day when you played sports as a kid. If your best player was getting yelled at by the coach, everybody else would kind of like follow suit and be like, oh, I need to step my game up because that's our best player. Like Phil Jackson always said, he was harder on Jordan and Kobe. Because if he was harder on those guys, everybody else would follow suit and be like, well, if he's yelling at Jordan and Kobe, then he can yell at me because those guys are the best ones.
Yeah.
That opens your eyes. Those guys start showing up at, April doing workouts that you don't really see people start doing until June. Plus, you look at what Andy Reid's, rapport is at St. Joe. It's brutal.
So you better be ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you show up, late and behind, not only are you going to stick out like a sore thumb, you're going to be far behind everybody else, because when you get to St. Joe, it's always when the rookies show up, it's like, yeah, we never heard about this. We've been told, like, it can get rough. It's hot, the ice bath after practice, all this sort of stuff. And then you get there and you're like, this is a whole different animal. We got to do, severe, intense practices in humid Missouri.
Yeah.
Heat.
And that's a great point too, Dusty. Not just getting ready for the season, getting ready for training camp. And so that this right now, working out right now, is getting you prepared to face St. Joe and an Andy Reid training camp, which is getting you prepared for the regular season. And these guys will talk now, this hell on earth in St. Joe. It is. I mean, just ask anybody who's ever been there. But, like, nobody wants to be there. Nobody wants to be part of those training camp, but at the end of the year, they all go back and they go, it all started in St. Joe, and we're here because of what happened in St. Joe. So you better be ready to work if you're going to be on this team, and you better be ready to work not just because of Andy Reid, but because of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce all setting the tone for this thing.
Yeah, I remember when I played basketball in high school. I mean, I wasn't significant. I went to a big high school, so we had a lot of opportunities to play on freshman teams, sophomore team. But I remember my sophomore year, we had a player, rest in peace. His name was Mikey White, one of the best basketball players I've ever seen at Blue Springs High School. Went to state his senior year. It started in, summer practice. Like, he'd, do pickup games against other guys. And, it wasn't mandatory. But if you showed up, Frank Wheeler was there watching, and he knew who was showing up to those meaningless little scrimmages, in the fall before basketball started, or even in the summer. And it was like, oh, this guy's showing interest. This guy shows he wants to be a part of the team. Did all those guys make the team? No. But they got the attention from the varsity basketball coach. They're like, okay, this guy's giving me some grit, giving me some toughness, or this guy's grown because he's going around these other guys that are leaders that don't necessarily have to be here, or, have proven their point that this guy's going to be our best player on varsity. But yet, why is he here in July playing a 5-on-5 pickup game at Lee Summit North? Because he wants to win.
Right.
And what did he do? He went to state. Ended up losing to Poplar Bluff and Tyler Hansbrough, But it is what it is. You lost to a guy that went to North Carolina on a full ride from Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Yeah.
But you still put up 20 points in the fourth quarter. R.I.P. Respect to one Mikey White, who I, idolized as a high school kid, just being like, okay, this guy is the best basketball player I've seen in high school, yet he's out here busting his hump in the middle of July in a meaningless 5-on-5 pickup game. And then the season started, you're like, oh, this guy's in rhythm. This guy's got his thing done. This guy's, we're doing line drills. The end thing, he's the first one done because he's in shape and he's ready to go because he knows the importance of the season. You get your ass kicked in the Super Bowl, it's embarrassing. The city, loses a lot of love for the team because they don't want to listen. We found that out with the numbers on Tuesday after the Super Bowl was over on Monday, essentially in the recap show. Everyone's like, I'm done with it. I'm over it. Think about the players' mindset.
Yeah.
We just got whipped on the Super Bowl stage. All right, how do we not do that again? We got to be better than we were last year, and we were 15-2.
Right, and that's the thing. That's why your friend Mikey was the best player out there, because he worked. It has nothing to do with what you do on Sundays or Mondays or Tuesdays or whatever day the Chiefs are going to play. They're going to have a Tuesday package. Chiefs will be featured on every Tuesday game or whatever going forward. But you know what I'm saying? It's not what you do in those 60 minutes of game. That's nothing. I tell people, all the time, they go, well, you only work 4 hours. I go, what are you, out of your mind? It's 20 hours of prep for 4 hours of a show. It's not what you do on the air. It's everything that takes place behind the scenes. That's how you know when somebody is a good athlete, because they're busting it behind the scenes when nobody's watching, when it doesn't matter, when it's hot and you feel like you're dead to the world. You go that extra mile. Those are the superstars. That's the difference between being Patrick Mahomes and being Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Speaking of superstars, we'll go to Cougar Chow now for one word.
All righty, one word. Shouldn't have told you guys that.
Why?
I love it. It's a great nickname. Yeah,
I appreciate it.
There's a good thing you put on like hot dogs and brats called Chow Chow.
It's a little different, but
yeah, you still eat it.
Oh yeah, one word on Geno Smith extension. Las Vegas Raiders, 2 years, 83, I think, in the 80s.
Perfect.
Deserved, right?
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
you were all this sort of stuff, that you didn't think about in Seattle. They were willing to part ways. Obviously, they went and got Sam Darnold. They went and got Cooper Kupp. They're changing the way they're doing things. The Raiders are trying to change the way they do things. They went and got Geno Smith, Pete Carroll. They've got Brock Bowers there. They're trying to be a respectful franchise. And, why not? Pay your guy. Let him know he's there. It's not like he's going to be paid for 10 years. He's being paid for 3 years. He got an extension.
He's paid through 27.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, I think it's great. I still think there's a chance that they take a quarterback, but Adam Schefter had some thoughts on that. Let's listen to what he said.
Essentially, they give Geno Smith a deal that's a little bit more than Seattle gave Sam Darnold. Seattle sat down with Geno Smith, and it quickly became evident that the two sides were not going to be able to reach an agreement. I think Geno Smith had his eyes on Las Vegas. The Seahawks made him happy. They sent him to Las Vegas, which was willing to pay Geno Smith more than the Seahawks. The Seahawks go on to Sam Darnold. And with today's deal, because at this time of the year, everything is relative to the draft, I think this almost clinches the fact that the Las Vegas Raiders will bypass a quarterback in the first round. Maybe they revisit it in an early round later on. But it's hard to imagine that they go and give Geno Smith $75 million today and then turn around 3 weeks later and draft a quarterback in the first round. I don't think they're taking a page from the Falcons playbook in terms of the plays that they're going to run here.
So I was thinking that, I was like, wow, they signed Geno Smith. That means no Shedeur Sanders. However, last year we saw what the Falcons did. I believe that Michael Penix, I don't want to say a generational quarterback, but I think he's going to be a really good quarterback in this league. I'm a buyer in him. I don't feel the same way about Shedeur Sanders. So I do think it's apples to oranges. But I immediately thought about that yesterday, that Shedeur Sanders, maybe he does fall into the 20s. Or maybe he doesn't make the first round because... Or maybe the Giants do, as Drafula said, the Giants could get both Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter by trading back in to the first round. It's going to be interesting to see, because I thought the same thing as Schefter did. That contract means they're probably not going to take Shedeur Sanders. Who is?
Yeah, over-under still sitting at 8.5. He's got his pro day today, so we'll see how that moves it. I don't think it'll have much of movement, honestly. I don't think anything's going to happen specifically from the pro day today.
Unless he's really bad.
Yeah, unless he's really bad, of course. I think he'll just perform. It'll be fine. He's throwing a Travis Hunter in shorts. It'll be whatever. One word on this question. If someone were to offer you $250,000 to take an at-bat against someone like Ben Joyce, Jose Alvarado, etc., but there's a 50% chance you take a 102-mile-an-hour fastball to the ribs. Would you take the at-bat?
I'd do it for 100% chance of taking one to the ribs at that point. For $250,000? Yes.
Yeah, of course. Sign me up. 50% chance to either miss it or 50% chance to get hit in the ribs. I understand 102 miles per hour in the ribs is going to absolutely sting.
Right.
It's going to hurt, but it's going to feel a little bit better when the guy comes up to you and says, here's your check for $250,000. Thank you. That's the Band-Aid I need.
Right.
I am stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid brand's stuck on me.
Who would say no to that?
Somebody who has bad ribs?
Yeah, somebody who, is deathly afraid of
Marilyn
getting in the
Manson?
ribs.
And maybe. Or somebody that's just loaded.
Yeah, it's like 250, man.
Yeah, like a professional athlete. Like Mahomes or Kelsey are probably like, I'm not doing that.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah, let's go.
One word on the Chiefs playing on Christmas for what seems like it could be the foreseeable future.
Is that a word?
Yeah, that's
I'll
just
count
A-H-H-H-H-H-H-H-H. I would say...
Once is unique and cool. 2, you play it on the road. I get it. Start doing it regularly. It loses its luster. I don't think many people are liking this.
I've got a lot of one words. Stale, not fun. I guess, I don't know, disappointing.
Yep.
Annoying.
Disappointing's a good one.
I just don't need it. It's cool once in a while. All right, Christmas is on a Thursday. The Chiefs are going to play. Sweet. Christmas on a Tuesday. Well, the Chiefs just played Sunday and they're going to play Tuesday. Annoying. We already had this discussion. I don't enjoy it. It's I like this text, inevitable. We should have seen it was going to come. Dallas and Detroit are Thanksgiving's babies. Christmas, Chiefs. It's just standard, I guess. Moving forward, it's going to be the Chiefs on Christmas Day. They want it. They get it. They're the team. Why not?
Yeah, nearsighted would be another one, too. One word on Cag's debut today.
Horny. I know that I'm hard. Mm-hmm. Interested.
Yeah.
Interested.
Intrigued.
Yeah. Intrigued. Yeah.
Excited.
Curious.
Prove them all wrong, Jack.
Let's go.
Prove them all wrong. Make it a point.
If he's Jeffrey on Monday, we got problems.
And one word on the big club, Royals against Orioles, starting today.
April. I say that, but you'd like to show that you can compete with the Orioles. Take 2 out of 3 at home after the way that this season has kind of started.
But if they don't, you'll say April.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, it's April. You don't start freaking out till at least May 1st, and then Memorial Day. There's lines in the sand with baseball.
Interested, because this is your first big bad boy out of your division. This is what I said yesterday. They are one of the top 3 teams in baseball, in my opinion. Gunnar Henderson is back at shortstop. They've got a lot of good talent on that roster. I'm interested.
Is Baltimore the Aaron Judge of teams? Great in the regular season, and then October comes and they don't do anything?
Yeah. A lot of people said on the video clip we posted yesterday that we were talking about Baltimore like people talk about the Chargers. This is their year. This is going to be their year. This is going to be they're this team.
Oh.
Sounds like we're talking about the Chargers.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say, I will say that when it comes to this series, I'm interested. I'm intrigued and everything about it. So,
like you said, syllabus week over, babe.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah, your stars need to play like stars. Your pitchers need to pitch like stars, and you need to go out there and win a couple of games. Because if you get swept by the Orioles, it'll be a lot of draft talk. I hate to be that guy, but if you lose 3, right? Let's just say you get swept. You're 2-7. You know what the reaction's going to be around town.
Oh yeah.
Back to the same old Royals.
Back to our
Enjoy Kansas.
Back to our guy on the other side. Ron Slay will join us as we get some more Final Four talk here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City Sports. 96.5 The Fan.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, is the best place to bet on sports. There's absolutely a loaded sports calendar this week, and it doesn't matter if you're into basketball, baseball, hockey, or any other sport. Check out some of their exclusive promotions, Dinger Tuesday, Hump Day parlays, and golf profit boost tokens over the weekend. With baseball season here, I'm happy to bet on the hometown team, and hopefully the Royals can win their division this year. You can bet on that as well if you'd like to on FanDuel. And right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets for every winning $5 bet. $200. All you got to do is win a $5 bet as a new customer. So check out FanDuel. Use my promo code KFNZ to make every moment more. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued with nominal drawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement Kansas Star Casino LLC. Gambling problem. Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
And we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexspicekc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Spies KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Missouri side Northland, 435 southbound. Pretty heavy coming off I-35. That ramp off southbound 35 is quite slow. And then you get down onto 435 proper. Things are a little slow down to 48th Street. Money back guarantees and parts and labor warranties mean you aren't just buying products, you are securing your investment. For a limited time, receive a free furnace when you purchase an AC. Schedule your complimentary proposal online at anthonyphc.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
He's a busy man from 104.5 The Zone. Mr. Ron Slade joins us again. We appreciate the time as always. He'll also be on the SEC Network today from 11 to 1. Slay all day, Mr. Ron Slay. I have one question to start off this interview with, if that's okay. Has nothing to do with basketball.
That's even better.
Okay. We just that little giggle you heard in the background. We just heard that Daddy Mac's nickname is Cougar Chow.
from Murph Dog Slay. Murph Dog did that.
Yeah, I already know. I remember when I heard. When I found out too, I had the same giggle with the funny little look on my face. So, Mac, have you explained why you come up with the name Cougar Chow?
You've seen me out in the wild, Slay. You know why. We don't need to beat around the bush here.
It's the long flowing locks, man.
Exactly right. Big play Slay. You're big play Slay on the court. I'm big play Slay off the court.
Wow. Look at this guy, stroking his own ego over there, man. Holy cow.
Hey, when it's the truth, it's the truth, man.
That's right. If the shoe fits where, it's a great nickname,
Ron,
I get it.
Ron, who is the truth in the Final Four?
Man. Oof, that's the $1 million question. I'm sure all bettors out listening, trying to figure out who's the truth. But I think, man, all 4 teams, honestly, from where you look at it from the standpoint of having superstars to carry you to that moment, teams built like a team when you look at Houston, and then also the coaching experience. I don't think you could have found 4 better coaches where they are in their careers that you would rather have right here. Maybe you could substitute Tom Izzo in for someone, but, man, Bruce Pearl and Kelvin Sampson, where they are right now, this is exactly where they're supposed to be, vying for a Final Four in the late stages in their career, trying to get it done, get that championship that's been elusive for them. Then when you look at the young guns coming up, Todd Golden and John Shire, like almost chips off the old block, you know what I'm saying? When you look at what Coach K was able to do as far as grooming John Shire, getting them ready for that role, and him being able to carry the torch for them, being able to still always go recruit like he's always been able to. He's got that Duke standard back to where it should be. And then when you look at Todd Golden, it's Mr. Miyagi and Danielson. He came straight from Mr. Miyagi at Bruce Pearl. Did his thing in San Francisco, came back in his 3rd year, and has Florida in the Final Four. Like, I don't know any other storyline that you need, man. So all of them are the truth to me.
All right, so of the 2 coaches that are the kind of the big name guys, the Bruce Pearl and Kelvin Sampson, those 2 guys, who needs the championship more for their legacy?
Yeah, I would think as many times as Kelvin Sampson has been to the Final Four, I think his would be a little bit more as far as solidifying it, and putting them right there in that red air. I think the difference with Bruce Pearl, Bruce has gone to situations where he's built up programs. So in a sense, in my eyes, his legacy is already built. You know, what he did at George Mason, what he did at the University of Tennessee, what he did at Auburn, like he rebirthed. I don't even want to say rebirth. He brought magic to these fan bases and these programs where they wasn't being talked about. You know, Tennessee was in a dark time coming out of my era, going into his, and he took them to an Elite 8. That was unheard of at the time. First time in school history in a sense. And then what he did to Auburn to reinvent them and have the jungle one of the most feared places to go and play basketball. And here he is in his 2nd Final Four run in a team that he knows how to get the best and the most out of. So I think he's cemented. Now, everybody would love that cherry on top, but I think one that needs it because of the programs he's been to would be Kelvin Sampson, because it's been legendary programs at Indiana. Like, you go and take over a spot at Houston to kind of get them back going. They've known what it's looked like to be in the finals before, but him being able to get that to be great on his resume.
And John Shire would be the Cougar Chow of the 4 coaches, right?
That cat daddy in Florida, man.
Hey, man, that's what I'm saying. He all the way from San Francisco to the Bay. He coming with it, so Todd Golden may have something to say with it, but I think, man, Shire, the way he walks, he got a different kind of little swag. He still got that basketball swag in him a little bit. Yeah, it's a little sneaky. It's like a little sneaky assassin, one of them guys you don't want to leave open. That's Shire, one of them guys that you don't want to be leaving at the bar with, you know, your crush that you had. So, yeah, he might sneak away with her, man. That's what John Shire is.
Mr. Steal Your Girl, apparently.
There you go.
So Florida's a 2.5-point favorite, and Duke's a 5.5-point favorite, according to DraftKings. This is where I think the madness begins, right? We just had to wait till it got to the Final Four. With these 4 teams all being the number 1 seeds, this first time since 2008. Obviously, locally, a lot of people remember that national championship. Same place, same, San Antonio. What do you like about those? Do you see? I mean, look, it's been all chalk, right? All 4 1 seeds made it, so that should tell us that you take Auburn and Duke to the national championship. Is that crazy talk, or is that just going off record?
I mean, well, if you're talking about the overall number one, that's Auburn. So I would think you take them to the national championship. I think, man, it's going to come down to which guys have the. I think all the superstars are going to be them. When you look at Houston, L.J. Cryer will be who he is. Look at Cooper Flagg, he'll be who he is. Janai Broome, Walter Clayton, so forth and so on. It's going to be the guys that are the X factors, the guys that can control the boards, finish, and make free throws. As simple as that game sounds, and that's how it's going to come down. Who's the X factors? When you look at Auburn, to me, it's Chaney Johnson. That's a guy that can kind of tilt the scales a little bit. When you look at Florida, it's Thomas Houck. He's a guy, man, if not overshadowed by the run that Walter Clayton had, probably would have got the MVP of that region. When you look at Houston, Juwan Roberts and my guy Clark out there long-range bombing. Sharp out there long-range bombing. Those are the guys for Houston. And then when you look at Duke, Knipple or Tyrese Proctor, I think those are the guys that kind of tilt the scale because you know what you're going to get out of your solid guys, your stars. So when you're talking about tilt the scale, it's going to have to be the others.
When you look at this game or this tournament coming up Saturday and Monday, Dusty had a great idea about an hour ago or so. He said, why don't we play them on Thursday and then have the championship on Saturday instead of on Monday? I'm kind of with him. Do you think college basketball would ever do that, do the Final Four on a Thursday night? Everybody talks about it on Friday, then lead into the championship game on Saturday?
Yeah, sure. If they're going to let everybody off work for Thursday and Friday and then let them come in Sunday. You get one day with the Monday, everybody kind of understand what it is. They dragging into work anyway off the weekend. So, but this right here, everybody can get in town by Friday. Saturday is the whole hoopla. And then Sunday, you get a chance to go out and, see who the championship is. And one day you're missing on Monday. So a little easier that way, I think.
Okay, we're talking to Ron Slay of 104.5 The Zone. He'll be on the SEC Network today from 11 to 1. Ron, real quick before we get you out of here, where do you rank this year's tournament? Because a lot of people upset, not a lot of upsets. A lot of people want to, bitch and moan about the NIL and the transfer. But, how have you enjoyed this tournament, maybe from a perspective that other people haven't?
Man, I've enjoyed it, man, just by the camaraderie of the fans. One thing, me coming from the SEC, a lot of teams and fan bases have all been pulling for each other. I thought that was great to see. Also, the guys that are around it, like the Jim Nances for Houston, being able to watch him kind of relish into it, and I think it's a tip of the cap in this sense. I don't think going into this, everybody's kind of optimistic about who their team is and who's going to step up, and nobody's kind of, tooting their own horn. Everybody's giving props to everybody, so I think you're going to get the elite play, and you get some elite fan bases in here to cheer their guys on. I'm just hype about it all, dog. I know we missed the Cinderellas and all of that, but this right here, this is where it's at, man.
This is what you want. You want the best teams playing for the championship, and we have that.
Absolutely. Nothing better.
Slay, you know me. I'm all NBA all the time. We know Cooper Flagg's going to be the number one pick. Who else are we watching this weekend who's going to make it to the next level? I know Janai Broome, Con Knipple. Who else?
Walter Clayton Jr. How does
you
he
think?
continue
Okay.
Yeah, think.
Not too well,
I don't even watch basketball, and I know that guy's going to be a player.
Not too small?
Yeah,
not too small?
No, he run around about 6'4", man. You got an explosive. You got to think, man, he may play himself into a lottery pick. He's definitely first round, no question about it. This coming from a no-star guy, Walter Clayton Jr., how long does this ride last for him? So that's the question.
Love it.
Big Ron Slay, we appreciate the time during this college basketball tournament. I want to let you know everybody in this town loves you. They want you to join us more often, but obviously you're a busy man on 104.5 The Zone, 11 to 1 on the SEC Network today. We appreciate all the time. At any time you want to come back, sir, you are officially a part of this show for the foreseeable future. We appreciate your time, sir.
Say no more. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy it.
Think.
Think.
Dude runs around at 6'4".
Do you think Tim Duncan will be a player in the NBA, Ron? I'll listen off the air.
I'll say right here, I don't think he's going to be good in the NBA. They list him at 6'3". I don't think he's 6'3".
Oh, that's great. God, I love Ron. I'm going to miss Ron Slay, man.
We'll get him back for the NBA playoffs, maybe. Get a couple rounds in, see if he come out
Send him a
playoffs.
picture of me in my Luka jersey.
Yeah, he'll love that. He'll love that.
That's funny.
Hey, Ron, do you think Lawrence Taylor or Derek Thomas will be any good in the NFL? I'll listen off the air. Thanks.
Why did his voice get faster?
He's got a fast voice.
Yeah, fast voice, yeah.
Cougars like me. Derek Thomas is going to be pretty good in the NFL or not?
Thanks, I'll listen off the air.
Oh, my gosh. Hey,
Ron, how are you?
It is 8 o'clock.
This is why Spectre didn't want you asking questions.
Yeah, well, he's not in the office today. Tables. We have the out of left field question coming up on the other side. That question is, if you could host one game show, if you could be the host of one game show of all time, what would that game show be? I'll tell you why mine's from Nickelodeon, because I'm still a child at heart. Here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you what, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control came out to the house on Monday, and once they stopped laughing and mocking my yard and ha-ha-haing it up, they said, we can fix this. This isn't that bad. In fact, we can fix anything. If we can fix your yard, we can fix anybody's yard. And I'm like, I know. That's what I need done. So they came out on Monday. They kind of walked through the yard, talked to me about what they could do, and then on Tuesday, they were out. They mowed. They put the stripes in the lawn. It looks great. Later on that day, they came out. They put the first, batch of fertilizer down, the pre-emergent down. They took care of it. Oh, I'm like, finally, I've got somebody that knows what they're doing when it comes to the yard. We've tried for over a decade to get our lawn looking good. We've taken down trees. Nothing is working right now except for the folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. And I also love the pest control part because we love sitting outside during the spring and summer and even into the fall. And with the pest control portion, they're going to put a dome over our yard, and they're not going to allow any mosquitoes in, no ticks, no fleas, all that stuff that bothers the dogs and the people going to be gone out of the yard. It's going to be a spectacular summer for us, thanks to Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. So, if you want your lawn to look good, if you want your lawn to be the best on the block, if you want that dome over your house to not allow those mosquitoes and pests in, then Aspen Lawn and Pest Control is the call you need to make. Visit them at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
And Doug. Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. Here's the best part. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Not happy? They'll come back between visits to make it right. Don't wait. Head to truegreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Calling all college hoops fans. Make your first bet during March matchups at BetMGM go even further with our exclusive first bet offer. Sign up today using bonus code KFNZ1500 to get up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. For a tournament full of unforgettable moments, BetMGM is your sportsbook for all of it. Enjoy same-game parlays, original bets you won't find anywhere else, and so much more during March matchups. And when there's a break in the tournament action or you're looking to switch things up, check out daily promotions and offers for all your favorite sports. Sign up with bonus code KFNZ1500 to get up to $1,500 in bonus bets. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold
sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-265-7681. 800-265-7681. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-265-7681.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side 71 northbound slows from 87th to Gregory. Past that, off again, on again, slow down, stretch up towards 43rd Street. Kansas side 635 southbound, slow rolling from Gibbs down to I-35. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch all the shows from your phone, desktop, or tablet. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Networking. Thanks to Mac for that contact of Ron Slay. We appreciate his time here on our show. A lot of people big fans of Mr. Slay. I don't know how you couldn't be.
If you don't like Ron Slay, then that's on you, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Great guy. Out of America. You don't like spaghetti and meatballs, man. You get the hell out of America. I'll give you crew cut, mister.
Is that like the universal food that everybody should like, spaghetti and meatballs?
Had it last night for dinner.
Pizza.
Have you ever met somebody that didn't like pizza?
Negative.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think I have either.
No.
Wait for the text line. They'll tell you.
Of course, yep.
I don't like
pizza. Some people still chiming in on Fescoe's version of Mac. You think Tom Brady will be good in the NFL?
Now that's a different one.
Yeah.
No. He was a 6th round draft pick. That would have been a legit, you think Tom, like I can't even use Patrick Mahomes in that one because there were people who didn't think he'd be good. Binkley mocked Mahomes here, right?
He's right behind
Binkley's
you, by
here.
the way. Yeah.
He is.
Binkley's in for Cody Tapp again. Back-to-back Fridays
Tapp
off.
doesn't work Fridays, does
I
he?
got to figure out what kind of photos he has of the boss. Because
no doubt, man.
He gets every Friday off.
I mean, that guy's never here.
Does he really love his job?
I mean, my goodness. Friday, no Cody.
You hear green onions in the background from Booker T and the gang. That means you get the out of left field question here on Fescoe and Dusty. It is not sponsored, but somebody could step up. Somebody stepped up for Richard of the Week. We'll get to that a little bit later at 9. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm starting to get like that Binkley gene in me. I'll tell you something about 9 o'clock, man. Talking about K Award, throwing football. The out of left field question, 913-586-7965. That's a J Southland Tow Service text line. We need you to participate like you always do. If you could host one game show of the entirety of game shows, what would it be? You don't have to explain why, but if you want to.
Oh, that's why I wanted to do the game show that I wanted to do.
Then you can do it.
Okay.
It's a bonus question.
All right. You want me to go first?
If you want to.
All right. It's the newlywed game because I want to know where the last place people made whoopee was.
Well, Bob, that'd be the... Never mind.
Oh, my God. That just... You can't even say it on the air, but I mean, it is... Max looking at us like... Just look up Chuck Woolery bloopers, too. There's another good one in there where there was a guy's name that was on the dating game. Do you know which one I'm talking about, Dustin?
Oh, yeah.
First name Bob. But there's been so many game show bloopers, but the newlywed game I've always loved. My wife and I would dominate the newlywed game. Where was the last place you made whoopee?
Basement couch.
Is that your answer?
No.
Finally? Oh.
Last place I made whoopee was before the 2 presidential elections ago.
Okay.
Been a while.
Yeah.
Binkley says Jeopardy. I feel like he would just laugh at people who got the wrong answer. George Washington, idiot. All right, next question. Mine would be Legends of the Hidden Temple. The greatest game show of all time as a child. The Purple Snakes, the Silver Monkeys, all the little things they had. And then you had the very end where you had to go through the final stage. You had to go through all this stuff. You couldn't get kidnapped by the hidden bad guys in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Legends of the Hidden Temple had me completely focused. Like when Mitch says stay focused, Dusty, Legends of the Hidden Temple came on.
Locked in.
I didn't go anywhere else. It was that or Guts.
I didn't see Guts, but I had reruns of Legend of the Hidden Temple all the time, and I loved it.
Great show.
But I don't remember Guts, but Legend of the Hidden Temple was
Actually,
great.
this is well over my head. I mean, this was not my generation at all.
So Guts, you had the inaugural rock. It was like a green rock that glue up. It was kind of like kids as gladiators. You had to go through all these like trial things. In the very end, you had to go up the rock. You had to go up the mountain. And then you had Mo, who was the female co-host of the show in a referee outfit, who would explain the rules. One of my first true loves. It was the accent.
What accent?
Is British.
British?
Yeah. And, but yeah, Legends of the Hidden Temple, no doubt about it. I mean, you talk about guys that had a good run. He wasn't the host of this show, but like Double Dare, Mark Summers.
Yeah, Mark Summers was. He hosted that show too?
Not Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, okay.
But no, that show was awesome. I always wanted to be the host because I didn't have to participate. But it would be awesome to kind of like see these people go through these trials and go through the final stage of the temple itself. And you get to hear like the story. It was very like Indiana Jones-ish.
Okay.
But also game show-ish.
You know, Mark Summers is like really OCD.
So is Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
Mandel?
Yeah.
He also used to put a condom over his nose and blow it up and pop it on his head.
I used to do that with rubber gloves. If I ever went to a hospital, I get the rubber glove and put it over my head and blow it up with my nose.
That's sanitary.
Yeah, it was a clean glove.
I'm surprised yours wasn't Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel.
Isn't that your show?
Of Fortune.
Isn't that your show, Dusty?
Love it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that wasn't your pick.
You just don't do enough.
Yeah, just not enough as the host.
Like Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, spin again.
Yeah.
Show me an A.
Bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is American Idol count?
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be mine.
Game show,
right.
basically.
Yeah,
It is,
game
yeah,
show.
it's a game show.
Okay, good.
It's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, Ryan Seacrest, great job.
Somebody says, do you consider Whose Line Is It Anyway a game show? If so, I'll take that one.
I would love to be on that show. I
There's
think
a
I'd be
winner.
really good, you know.
The best bit they ever did was when they'd have Ryan and Colin and they'd have a screen behind them. They didn't know what was going on. They'd be like, describe the scene today. And it might just be like either like a babe walking the beach or it might be like a guy like puking in the corner. Really crisp, cool day out there, you know, or we're not really having any troubles, guys. Ralphing in the background. Yeah. People in the text line. Double Dare.
Double Dare was a great show. You find that flag in that peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or up the nose. You got to pick that big nose and pull the snot out with the flag. I remember when Double Dare came to the local mall when I was growing up. We all went.
Whoa.
That was a big deal.
A lot of Guts fans on the show. Aggro Crag is the name of the other thing. Sorry. I just wanted that green lit up rock in my room. That's a trophy that you admire. You bring somebody over, you're like, you see what that is? Every kid in that generation knew exactly what that was. Wheel of Fortune would be up there, though, for sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, you just have like the easiest hosting job there is.
Exactly.
You don't really have to read anything.
Just the card, and then you have your promo guy that tells you where they're going on a trip, and you know the money's right there in front of you.
Is there an A? Like Vanna does all the work.
And even still
Exactly.
nowadays, they have that, digitally in the back. So you don't have to actually spin the
I liked
the
when she
letter.
actually spun it around and everything. That was good.
Let's see. They made an adult version of Legends of the Hidden Temple like 2 years ago. Didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Let me be that bag.
I used to love that show too.
Yeah, when Regis was doing it.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
He's dead. Regis always looked like my mother's friend Helen DeBlaze. I always, for whatever reason, they were very similar looking.
From the 913, what was that Temple game? That was a good show. Yeah, Legends of the Hidden
Temple
Temple.
of Doom, Indiana Jones.
Kalima.
You think Binkley's ever seen a game show before?
Yes, he said Jeopardy.
Oh, he did text in?
Yeah, he texted me right now. He said Jeopardy would be his game show.
Okay.
That's why he said he'd laugh when they got the thing
Yeah,
wrong.
even they, yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
I didn't know. I thought you were making that up, quite
Sorry,
honestly.
geek.
I don't know what's true anymore with Binkley.
Yeah, it's actually the Civil War, idiot. All right, next question.
Bigley would run the sports category like all of us would. Like, that's the only category.
And the history category. He's a history buff.
I think it's a little hard for that. I could do American history. You get that world stuff, forget about it.
Somebody says Survivor. Yeah, because Jeff Probst is like in a Airbnb luxury suite.
Hell yeah. He's not doing anything.
No.
Yeah. He's like, I'll go tally the votes.
That guy's out there eating good in the neighborhood, man. And he's not at Applebee's.
David, the tribe has spoken. Next time on Survivor, season 49.
Seriously? I mean, that show's been out almost as long as I've been alive.
This is a good one. Supermarket sweep.
That was a good one back in the day, where you grab that gold turkey or ham on the bottom shelf. Always had to get the gold turkey and ham.
Looking back at it now, I used to watch that show as a kid with my sister, and we'd try to get the questions right, obviously, before the people would. You watch it now, it's like, this famous cereal is known to snap, crackle, and pop. What is Rice Krispies? You're like, duh.
Yep.
Like, come on. But you gotta know like where you're at in a grocery store.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta go where the big ticket items are, man.
Big Brother, another one that just came in. That'd be a fun one. You don't have to literally do anything. Here's what the house is saying about this guest this week.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love that show. I always wanted to be on Big Brother. But then you think about it, you're like, man, everything I do is just literally getting videoed like the entire time.
It's awful, Those people turn out to be just grifters.
Somebody says, I would love to do The Bachelor. That seems like an easy gig. Travel around the world to meet beautiful women and men.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good point. Yeah.
I mean, Jesse Palmer, man, that guy's got it made. Is he still doing it or no?
I think so.
See, I'd be on like a Bachelor if I could get a cougar. I am the cougar now, so.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Golden Bachelor. I don't know if you guys seen that. Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, Binkley's got the new Royals hat.
I know. I saw that.
That's what I said. It's a nice logo.
Binkley's got his swag on.
He was in the middle of talking about the draft, so he ignored
I'm sure
my compliment.
he was. Yeah.
He really did.
Yeah.
Somebody says, I would host Family Feud. So many opportunities for quick one-liners. That is a fun show.
That is a great show. But Steve Harvey knocks it out of the park. Don't mess with him.
Yeah, Louis Anderson was terrible.
Yeah, rest in peace. I remember one time Louis Anderson was in Spector's office with his feet on the desk.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Before he passed away. He was friends with John Hanson, our old boss. And so he brought Louis Anderson in one time. And he sat there with his feet up on the desk and made phone calls.
From the 913, Dusty, I'm giving you the first rose. Well, for some reason, all you kept doing was going on the hang glider. Yeah, he says you have a face like a clock. I never said that. Just want to keep going on the zip line. Another, I think you should leave.
Yes.
All you did was go on the zip line. Even when we ate, you ate so fast just to go to the zip line. Well, he says you have a face like a clock. I literally never said that. The dating game is another one that came in. That is the out of left field question brought to you by nobody, but somebody could step up. You are listening to Fescoe and Dusty with Mac as well here on Fescoe and Dusty. Jim Nance said something that, scared the absolute BS out of Bob Fescoe. We'll explain what he said here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, man.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, baseball season is officially back, and you can make every game day more exciting with my friends over at Underdog. Underdog is one of the leading sports apps, and you can play now in the state of Missouri. And if you want to win up to 1,000 times your money, download the Underdog app now. To play, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. Strikeouts, home runs, hits. Oh, they've got everything on the Underdog app. And they've got all of your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. What I love most about the Underdog app, this is how I do it. I create entries with all baseball selections at times, but I also mix and match. We got basketball big games this weekend, big baseball games this weekend, mix and match across other sports. And you can play with as little as $1, and you get everything right. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app now and sign up using the promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you make your first deposit. That's promo code BOB to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits instantly upon first deposit. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mira Joyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at Walmart.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Hy-Vee makes my life easier every time I visit. From pre-made meals to everything I need to grill at home, I can find at Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee is your graduation headquarters for any size celebration. They have party trays, personalized cakes, floral arrangements, and so much more. Don't miss the graduation open house on Saturday, April 5th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., where you can sample all of the amazing graduation party options or just get a little inspiration. Let Hy-Vee handle everything this graduation season, even full-service catering. Only at Hy-Vee.
It's that time of year. Fire up the grill and get your backyard groove on. It's Hy-Vee's good old-fashioned meat sale. We're rolling back prices on springtime favorites like bacon-wrapped chicken grillers for $3.99, specialty brats $1 each, whole boneless pork loin $1.99 a pound, and 85% ground chuck just $4.99 a pound. These crazy low prices will get you in the groove. Hustle in for big savings this Friday through Sunday only at Hy-Vee.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northland, 435 southbound slows before 48th Street with construction in the left lane. 71 northbound a little slow from 75th to Gregory, and then it slows again around 43rd Street with construction set up. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Diving right back into it here on 96.5 The Fan. You okay over there?
All right. Just talking about the last time you made whoopee.
913-586-7965. We know Bob's is Tuesday. So Jim Nance had something to say that I thought, I didn't believe it until I heard it because, I thought we had it in here. But he had said something yesterday, or maybe it was the day before that college basketball may not survive another 15 years.
That's right.
Look, his comments are scary because of what he says. Like, he's the Houston grad. Obviously, he's, riding high into this. But he says, after dismissing LA... Oh, wait, what? Anyways, my concern on our question in the future of college basketball, Nance admitted, that may not live as we know in another 500 years. It may not live another 15 years because of the portal and NIL. It's difficult, and I don't want to paint it doom and gloom. I don't want to say it's bound to be extinct. It's not going to be, but what we knew it as, what we grew up with, the model doesn't exist anymore, and some people have a real problem with that. He goes on to continue and say, quote, and I want to put a pitch for my school here, the University of Houston. As we go into this weekend, we represent college basketball the way we used to know it, better than anybody. Maybe in America, our guys stay. Yeah, we have to play the NIL game, but our guys aren't racing to the portal. They believe in their coach. There's a family culture there. They're all in.
Yeah, well, let's see what continues to happen, after this year with all of that. Right now, I understand exactly what he's saying about the Houston part. The first part that he mentioned there, for me, I don't necessarily disagree with, because Jim Nance isn't the only person that's saying that. You hear that from a lot of casual sports fans, and even a lot of the diehard sports fans that are college fans that have said, the portal has kind of turned me off. The NIL has kind of turned me off. Like, you don't have the ability to form those relationships like you did back in the day with Nick and Kirk and Drew, all those guys at KU that everybody forms the bond with, or whatever university you went to. For a couple of years, for 3-4 years, you were able to form these bonds with these players. Those days are gone, and they're never coming back, and that's fine, and we all move forward. But while you move forward and you change the way that you do things, are you robbing Peter to pay Paul, essentially, with all of this? And I think a lot of people would say maybe you are. And I think, for me, why the comments by Jim Nance hold so much weight is because Jim Nance was doing the NFL, he was doing the Masters, and he was doing college basketball. He wanted to cut back his workload a little bit. He cut back college basketball. And I think that should be a big eye-opener for a lot of people, because the NFL is always going to be the NFL. Golf outside of the Masters, I mean, that's fine if Jim wants to do that. He loves golf. But he gave up college basketball and doing the Final Four and some of these premier events this entire month because he just didn't want to do it anymore. He wanted to cut back a little bit. And that's the sport that he cut. That's why, for me, it opens my eyes a little bit more, going, Jim probably saw where this was going. He's like, I don't really want to be part of this thing anymore. And I think a lot of sports fans kind of feel the same way Jim Nance does.
So let me ask you this. How much of this is kind of like an old school theory? Like, how much? Because Nance is an old soul, like, right? He's been around for a while. But
he's probably late 50s, I would think, early 60s.
Nance? There's no way. Late 50s?
Late 50s, early 60s, easy. Yeah.
65.
Okay,
I was wrong. Mid 60s.
Yeah. Like,
you thought he was younger?
No, I thought he was older.
Oh, you thought he was older?
I thought he was like 68, 69.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
I would have said, yeah. Same.
But like, how much of that is like, well, it's not the way it was in my day, and like now the game has evolved because these kids are now getting paid. The kids are now able to go in the next year, unlike the coaches who always were able to just leave whatever they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but like, the NIL deal is not the same for one team in Auburn. Like, look at the age of all the Auburn starters. I think Johnny Broome is what, 23?
Yeah, 22, 23. Yep.
Houston's team, they're all there.
Yep.
Those guys are there because they got paid to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they didn't leave because and that's what my theory was. Like, that's where Bill Self needs to figure it out, right?
Yep.
And I'm not saying Bill Self is a lost soul in the game of basketball today, but when it comes to this NIL deal or the portal deal, like, you can still get all these guys, but like, load them up with NIL so they don't want to leave. Or, you do that, money makes, losing in the second round or the first round a little bit easier to recover from, because then it's like, well, we're coming back next year. We have the same this, and we know what we're making here. Like, working as a server, your money fluctuated, right? I didn't know every day. Doing this job, I know what my paycheck is every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every other week, I know what it's going to be. And I understand, like, that's a lot easier to do a job than like, man, bills are due. I really need to make, at least $75 in this morning shift. Whereas, like, if you're getting paid at a university to stay there, it's easy to build that culture nowadays because that's what it is. At least in my opinion, because you look at Houston, they stuck around.
For now, we'll see where this thing trends with Houston.
Right. And then, you got to build that culture again. Like, these guys are going to move on.
I disagree with that. I don't think there's any building of culture anymore in college sports. I think those days are done. And I think why fans don't like it is because, let's look at this KU team or the Missouri team. Either one, right? You lose in the first round or the second round of the NCAA tournament, you go, wow, we got all these guys coming back. You can start to kind of get excited about next season. KU lost everybody. Missouri's going to lose everybody. Now the fans are going, All right, we were there last year. Who do we have coming back? It's a whole new ball game all over again. And by the time you learn who the players are, they're all gone and on to the next. And so I think from a fan's perspective, I think the days of the culture are gone. I don't think it matters anymore. Oh, Kansas has got Allen Fieldhouse, got a great culture. How much are you paying me? Nobody cares about Allen Fieldhouse. Nobody cares about Cameron. Nobody cares about the stuff that we did care about. They care about the number that's on that check. And you can say all the culture stuff you want. I don't think that works in college sports anymore. I think that those days are done. It's going to be all about the biggest check. Look at all the coaches that are leaving, too. Any coach that has really established a culture in college sports, they hit the bricks, man. Other than Izzo and Self at this point in time.
Bruce Pearl.
But he's bounced around so many different places,
He's been with Auburn for damn near a decade.
Has he really been there that long?
He left Tennessee a long time ago.
Okay, but you don't always picture Bruce Pearl as one of those, culture creators, like he's not in that category. I hate to say it, he's not. All the football coaches that have left over the years, they all got out. All those guys that established these cultures and whatnot. Right now, being a head coach for college basketball or college football, you're essentially a general manager now in professional sports. You're going out and you're trying to sign guys. And then you sign those guys. You're like, okay, I got a breather for about 10 minutes, and then I got to worry about keeping these guys happy, and then replacing these guys at the end of the year with other guys. And it's just kind of cycles out and over again. The culture stuff is gone. Bill was great at establishing a culture. That's why every 4 years he's in the Final Four, winning a national championship. You establish that culture. College sports doesn't lend itself to that anymore.
Bruce Pearl's been there since 2014.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So literally a decade.
Yeah.
2014, 2015 season was his first season. Went 15-20, then he went 11-20, and then it started to happen. Right.
So does culture require, I guess I'm asking, does culture require those kids to stay?
I think so.
Okay.
I do. I think you established a culture, much like we talked about Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce being the hardest workers and busting their ass and everybody kind of following them. That's a culture. I don't think you can establish that anymore in college sports because you don't have the guys that buy in. You don't have the 3-year player. You don't have the 4-year player that much in college sports. I think Houston's a major anomaly in all of this. And I think we're going to see more things like we see at Kansas and Missouri where coaches load up for a year and then they got to load up again. I mean, watching some of these people on X, formerly Twitter, talk about what's going on at Kansas with the recruiting right now, people, again, getting excited for people they've never seen play before and all this kind of stuff. Like, I just think right now where college sports is, everybody's a one and done. There's no reason to establish a culture because you can't establish a culture. So you guys got to go out there and find the best 5 players that are willing to work for the money that you have available and go with it. Back in the day, you could recruit guys as a freshman, teach them the ropes, and by the time they were seniors, they're now passing that along to the younger guys, and it continues on and on and on. Those days are done.
I think that was a problem before NIL, but I agree NIL has worsened it. But that's been a problem in basketball for a long time. I've opined about that for years.
But very few players were the one-and-done guys. Like, you always had your 3- and 4-year players, regardless if you liked, Lester Earl or if you liked Perry Ellis or if whoever the case may be. You had those guys that could be those leaders, that could be the big guy in the room, that could listen to the coach when he's berating everybody, bring everybody in, here's what really happens, calm down. You need those guys. Like when Spectre tries to tell us stuff and then I talk to you guys later and go, here's how we're going to do it. You need those guys in college sports. You need those guys in professional sports because the coach is going to bloviate for a while. All right, here's reality. Let me tell you what he's really talking about. If you have one and dones, and you're constantly changing that over, they're going to look at that coach and go, that guy's a douche. Screw him. And then the senior comes in and goes, no. This is what he's trying to do. He's trying to break you down and see how you're going to respond. And you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. Nobody gets it now.
I mean, I think you can have culture during all of this. I mean, I think Missouri didn't have it last year. They had it this year. And a lot of those guys were transfers. Guys from Duke, guys from Iowa State. All over the place. I think it also cannot work as well as it can work. It didn't work in Kansas here. Remember, Bill Self was saying these guys just need to get away from each other. Hunter Dickinson was a failed transfer for KU. It just didn't work, but at the time, he was the number 1 transfer portal.
Somebody had told me that Michigan actually had a better record in the time that Hunter Dickinson was at Kansas than Kansas had with Hunter Dickinson. The last couple of years, look at Michigan's record versus Kansas' record. Somebody was telling me Michigan actually had a better record over that time than Kansas did. That was a swing and miss. But if you have 4-year players, you have, not the NIL, not the transfer portal, you don't have to worry about going out and getting guys like Hunter Dickinson. So, no, I there's no culture at Missouri. There's no culture at Kansas right now. There's no culture anywhere. There's no players. You can't have culture if you don't have an established group of players that pass that down for generations. That's how culture gets started. It's not a one-year thing.
I just don't know if that's NIL created. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that's been a problem in basketball for 20 years.
But it's been one or two guys,
The guys that make you watch. Zion Williamson, see ya. Andrew Wiggins, see ya.
But you also had 18 other players on that roster if you're a diehard Duke fan that you knew who they were. Or if you're a diehard Kansas fan, you knew who they were.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about if John Shire wins his title, he builds a culture by doing that. He then
yeah,
and that's where it starts. Like if you win titles and you can still recruit, obviously Duke is an easy place to recruit. Hey, you want to go play at Cameron Indoor? Yeah. Who else has recruited you? NC State.
How much have they offered you?
Right, and that's the other thing too. If you have the money, you can do it.
Can't beat that.
Yeah. Which if your school is notoriously known for having money and being successful, you will go be a part of that culture.
I mean, look at St. John's right now. They're able to get back into the fold. They hired a great coach, but they also got money coming in. And that's why St. John's was good in the 80s, because back then, and the NCAA closed this loophole, you could give kids scholarship, room and board, however you want to phrase it, based on the average cost of an apartment in that city where your school was. So in the 80s, they were paying players essentially what the average rent was in Manhattan. And then all the guys would live together in one apartment and have all the cash in the world.
Nice.
And then the NCAA closed that loophole, and that's why St. John's went off the deep end and fell off the face of the earth. And so now there's no loopholes, there's nothing. Here's a bag of cash. Or I'll just wire it to you because we can now. It doesn't matter. So that's where I am on college basketball and college. Every year it's something different. And even the pros don't change over as much. It's probably easier to establish a culture in the NFL than it is in the NCAA.
You should be required to stay 2 years in basketball. I've always thought that.
Now you're putting rules on it. You know what they do? They hate rules.
They hate rules.
Because if you're a coach, you have to stay 2 years.
Well, maybe coaches. Players should have to stay 2 years.
There's a separation of coach and player again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Mickey Joseph, you never heard of that guy? I never did. Grambling State head basketball coach or head football coach. This is what he had to say about that.
We understand. I think the kids understand if they're here and if they're sophomores and they have a big year and a group of five or a power five approach them and they have the finances to pull them out of there and I can't match the finances, then you know what? They're going to go. That's part of it. Coaches been doing it for years. So we shouldn't get mad as coaches when these kids make decisions to take care of their family. Because like I said, I'm going to say it again, coaches been doing it for years. But I also think there need to be a buyout. If they move up from me and go to group of five and power five, I should get kind of a compensation for that, So NCAA, if you're listening to me, I need a buyout.
I love that. That's a great idea because coaches have to pay a buyout, right? You just can't go. What's the buyout? They got to pay the buyout. That's the Grambling State head football coach saying, hey, I understand how this works. I know where I am. I know what level I'm at. But if you're going to take one of my players, you owe me some kind of compensation for that.
What if you implied this rule? And maybe this is way, way too far. The guy that was at Drake this year, he was only there for 1 year.
The coach or the player?
The coach.
Okay.
He was only there for 1 year, right?
1 year, yeah.
Ben McCollum?
Yeah, Thad Matta.
He was there for 1 year and went to Iowa. If you transfer as a coach in Division I to another division school, 0 active players from your old roster cannot follow you to that school. So you can transfer as a player to wherever you want to go, but you can't go to that school with your head coach, which would mean that the kid, was it Bennett Sturts?
Yeah, Sturts.
Benjamin Sturts, Bennett Sturts. He couldn't go to Iowa. He'd go anywhere else.
But he can't follow.
the coach.
But he wanted to play for that coach. And I'm not in on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just
No.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Have the ideas. We don't have to agree with every idea, but I like the conversation.
Because then you can't just hop around and try to make every university loaded with a team that now Iowa's going to look like Drake last year, and they're going to have more money, and they're going to be able to do this, and then Drake's going to be like, well, now what? We're back to being a 9-win team in this year in the Missouri Valley Conference?
You are. The root of college sports was always you went and played for that coach, right? Over here, what are we calling him? Cougar Chow?
Chow.
That's what my father-in-law says. Chow. You recruit me, okay? I have a connection with you. I want to go play for you as my coach. Then you leave. Then you're going to bring in somebody else who may not have recruited me, somebody I may not like. That's not fair to the student athletes, right?
Yep.
So I've always felt if a coach leaves, and this was before NIL or before any of this, if a coach were to leave, then that should free up every player on that team to be able to leave and go somewhere different and not have to suffer a penalty. If the coach leaves, you should be able to, leave because you're there for the coach. You're not there because you like the Hill or because you like Harpo's, right? You're not there because of any of that.
Yeah.
You're there for the coach. And if that coach leaves, then those student athletes should be allowed to be able to transfer wherever they want to whatever coach they want. Now it's all up in the air. Now you do whatever the hell you want. Nobody cares.
This is fun. I don't think that I'm complaining about. I don't mind that players are getting paid. I want to be upfront about that.
No, I love the fact that players are
We've got to
paid.
figure out how to make it work.
That's exactly right.
Is the root of the discussion, because somebody says on the text line from the 913, it's funny how we recognize and complain about how this is a disaster, but 3 or 4 years ago we were screaming, pay the kids.
Nobody said this is a disaster.
The NCAA is laughing at us all. I don't think it's a disaster to pay the kids. I think it's a learning experiment. I think it's one of those things where it's like, hey, here's the deal. You want money. You want endorsements. This is how endorsements work. Hey, we want to endorse athlete A. Okay, we want you to show up here. We're going to give you money, and you're going to have to learn how to control it yourself. We're going to give you $1 million. Okay, cool. We're going to give it to you all up front in your account. Okay, when you get to the league, you're going to get a lot more money. But when these kids were not getting paid and getting to the league, they were failing out because they weren't being able to be responsible with their money. When you have kids in college basketball getting paid, it's fine. But again, it's more so like I'm more concerned about the transfer than I am the money. Now, I understand that they come hand in hand because if you go to Miami, they're loaded with endorsement opportunities and NIL opportunities, whereas like somewhere like NC State, the second time I brought them up, I'm just using them as an example, they don't have the money Miami has. So essentially,
well, that therein lies the problem, right? Yeah. That's the problem. How do we make this level and even for everybody across the board? Baseball hasn't figured that out yet. The NFL has. The NBA, to an extent, with their salary cap, has kind of figured that out. And I think they've talked about a salary cap and all that stuff in college football or college basketball. But if you start to put that in, then we're going to be back to the old days. Everybody handing you a McDonald's bag with $50,000 in cash in it to skirt the issue. I just wonder from the standpoint of your Bill's car dealership in Lawrence, Kansas, you want Hunter Dickinson to endorse your car dealership. When do you see a return on investment with this kind of stuff, too? So, like, it's cool right now because Bill, who runs the car dealership, is just a honk that wants to, have I know Hunter Dickinson, one of those guys. We've seen that they're in every college town. But eventually, you're a businessman. Is Hunter Dickinson bringing the people in to buy the car?
If he's good.
But how long do you wait and see? And then when do you look at that and go, this isn't a good investment of my money? Because it's not tax deductible.
No. Somebody from the 016 says, so the Colorado Buffaloes wouldn't exist if players couldn't follow the coach, Dusty.
It's true.
It's true.
For 1 year, I think you have that's what I'm getting at. Like, you can't immediately follow that coach. Like, you have to give it a year. Like, if you want to go to that school, you can go anywhere else next year, but you can't follow your coach immediately.
I'm out on that one. I am. Yeah, I'm just out because, again, you're not going for the school, you're going for the coach. Like, those guys Dion could have coached on the moon, that planet, that beautiful planet moon. He could have gone coached there. Here comes the text line. He could have gone and coached there, and those guys would have followed him because they want to play for Dion. And the difference that he makes, like, there are some coaches, not all of them, but some of them, that make these huge differences in the lives of their players, both on and off the court and field. And guys want to be part of that. They want to play for certain coaches. So, if Dion went and coached on Planet Moon, everybody would be there.
And the problem with college basketball, it's not NIL or transfer. That's not the number one problem. It's the gameplay.
Yeah, well, that's a totally different issue in and of itself. I mean,
but that's the biggest problem.
It is. And
games are too long.
Yep.
They drag. The fouls are terrible. The quarters, they're doing halves, not quarters. Fix your own problem before you want to hide behind that smoke screen and then bitch and moan about how these kids make money. Well, change the game.
Yeah, the game
itself is not good. If you want to set the players up for success with money opportunities and how to, balance a checkbook, which we don't do anymore, but you get what I'm saying, then get them prepared for what the NBA is going to look like. They get to the NBA, they're like, oh, we don't play halves anymore? No.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. That and 1 year. Those are the two biggest problems.
I think the play also suffers a little bit because guys don't care. They're there for themselves. I'm here to make an impact for me in 1 year. The team, what the hell do I care? I'm not bought in here. I'm here for my $1 million and I'm gone.
If you made that 2 years, that would change.
Yeah, sure it would.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't disagree with that. I kind of like that idea.
You can go out of high school if you want to the NBA, or if you come to college, you're here for 2 years.
Yeah, and I've always thought that should have been the case back in the day, even before NIL. Now, the exception are if your coach leaves and you have the opportunity to leave too, but I don't mind a 2-year commitment.
Or maybe NIL deals are 2 years. You want to go to you want this NIL deal?
Yeah.
It's only a year NIL. It's less money. You want the 2-year NIL? You get more money.
Yeah.
That means you're locked in with your money and you're staying.
And buyouts.
Love that.
And buyouts.
The buyout thing is big. I really like that
Somebody
idea.
said the problem on the text line, the problem with having Hunter Dickinson endorse you is that everyone would go somewhere else.
I was just using an example, but very good text, yeah.
And then also, if Hunter Dickinson were to give an endorsement reading, it would probably sound like this.
Hey, well, yo, man.
Of course, I don't know anybody else's name, so that's why.
Yeah, exactly right, yeah.
Seeing all this guy's transferring who?
That's right. Coming up on the other side, we bring it locally to you on the Kansas side because they've actually made Final Four. Sorry, that's a slight shot at Missouri. But if you could build your all-time Final Four Kansas basketball team, who would be your starting five? I'll tell you what. I love mine. I'll explain on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Attention car shoppers, Kevin Harlan here with Rob Side of Rob Side Ford in South Kansas City. Hey Rob, what's going on?
We are making 2025 the best year in Rob Side Ford history, and we are doing it with 4 simple steps.
Simple is what I love most about Rob Side Ford. So Rob, what's the plan?
It starts with Rob Side Ford's non-commissioned sales staff, Kansas City's lowest prices on brand new Fords, the best trade-in values, the biggest selection we've ever had. With those 4 steps, it is my personal mission to make Rob Site Ford the easiest, most value-driven Ford dealership in Kansas City. No BS.
That's why Rob Site Ford is the only dealership I'll send my friends and family to. But you're forgetting one thing.
What's that?
Rob Site Ford is Kansas City's top-rated Google Ford dealership.
Good call. Can't forget about that. Check out Rob Site Ford in South Kansas City at 135th and State Line, ROBSIGHT.com.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-514-1026 if you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns. Help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-514-1026 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-514-1026 to see if you qualify. That's 800-514-1026.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, is the best place to bet on sports. There's absolutely a loaded sports calendar this week, and it doesn't matter if you're into basketball, baseball, hockey, or any other sport. Check out some of their exclusive promotions, Dinger Tuesday, Hump Day parlays, and golf profit boost tokens over the weekend. With baseball season here, you know I'm happy to bet on the hometown team, and hopefully the Royals can win their division this year. You can bet on that as well if you'd like to on FanDuel. And right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets for every winning $5 bet. $200. All you got to do is win a $5 bet as a new customer. So check out FanDuel. Use my promo code KFNZ to make every moment more. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued with nominal drawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement Kansas Casino LLC. Gambling problem. Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Stay comfortable year-round with expert HVAC installation done right the first time. Enjoy zero down and payments from $180 a month. Schedule your consultation today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, Olathe 35 northbound, heavy around Santa Fe up towards 127th Street with a problem that appears to be off to the shoulder. Belton 49 northbound, slowdowns as you make your way past 163rd up towards 155th Street with construction set up. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Here's a stat for you of why MLB needs to get to the, what is it they call where they tap their helmet?
Oh, the ABS, automatic ball strike system, which was the most wonderful thing I witnessed in spring training.
Hey, how about this stat, Mac? Umpires missed 1,121 calls during the first full week of the season, including 44 blown strikeouts.
That's insane. That's a lot.
That's
a lot. It sounds like a lot.
That's 1 week.
So
we played 52 weeks of baseball.
Blown strike calls?
44.
No, 1,124 what?
1,121 missed calls during the first full week of the season.
Just missed balls and strikes we're talking about? Calls.
Missed
calls.
Tables. Including 44 blown strikeouts. So 44 guys struck out when they actually should not have.
Right, or vice versa. Maybe somebody,
didn't strike out
when they should have or something like that. Yeah, it's a very simple fix. The technology's there. It works great. Let's go. I mean, this is evidence right here. You've blown 1,100 calls in the first week of the season? Now, what percentage of calls is that? Who knows? But still, that's a lot. That's a big number. And it shouldn't be any number. You got the technology. We saw how it worked in spring training. This is where Rob Manfred, if he had any sort of cojones, would get in there and issue an executive order and say, this is what we're doing. We're implementing this right now. There's too much on the line in sports to not get the calls right. People's jobs, people's bonuses, all this kind of stuff. And if the umpire's messing it up and we have a fix for this thing, implement it now. And I'm sure the owners don't want it because maybe guys would make more money in bonuses and stuff like that if they got the calls corrected. Get an extra opportunity. But I think you got to do it.
Bobby Wood Jr. was called out on strikeouts on opening day, and it wasn't.
I'm going to tell you something, man. Like that's around on opening day. We may see a different type of game. Cole Reagans was kind of squeezed early in that game. You set what I was told by talking to people at spring training about this ABS system, which I thought was very interesting. I was talking to somebody in a front office for one of the teams. I said, what do you think of the ABS system? They go, we love it. I go, how are the umpires handling this thing, right? And the comment was, well, at first they were pissed, right? Like they would get despondent when you would challenge them, right? And then they started to embrace it a little bit. But what it also did when they were challenging these calls, the umpire also is in constant communication with somebody up in the press box now, or were during spring training. I don't know if this is the case during the regular season or not. But during spring training, they were in communication with people in the press box, and the guy in the press box would be like, all right, you got to raise your zone a little bit. You're missing a lot of calls down low or up high. You've got to raise your zone. So having the ABS, subconsciously, if you're challenging and it continues to go against the umpire, then the umpire is going to correct his strike zone and get the calls right. And I like that angle of it as well, that it's there and the umpire can realize it and realize, oh man, I'm screwing this up. I got to raise my zone up a little bit. I'm blowing these calls.
Yeah, let me know how that goes for you, those egotistical umpires.
It didn't go well to start, but they said they started to embrace it even more. And you know what? If you don't like it, go do something else. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Well, I don't like the way that works. Well, there's other jobs out there. Go dig a ditch.
Be an undertaker. Kansas, Final Four teams. They've been there quite a bit. We do K-State, but they haven't been to a Final Four.
Yes, they have in the 50s. Or no, where were they in the Final Four?
Was Mitch Richmond
86, there? I think.
With Mitch Richmond?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there's one. And Missouri, no Final Fours. KU, a lot of guys to choose from. So who'd be your starting five of KU Final Four teams?
It's a hard one, right? And I did it based on just the guys that I want to see, not necessarily the positions, who's playing the one and all that kind of stuff. I don't care. I'm starting with Danny Manning. I mean, nobody had more of an impact on that university than Danny Manning. I was talking to somebody the other day, one of my old mentors, Mike McKenzie, back in the day, and he used to work for the Star, covered the Royals, and we were having lunch, and he said to me, he goes, I remember one time I was talking to Bobby Knight about Michael Jordan, and I'm like, oh, God, okay. Tell me more. It's the 84 team, right? Olympic team. And he's like, God, this Jordan guy just doesn't listen. Doesn't want to be coached, doesn't want to. Somebody said to him, you got to coach Michael Jordan less. Just let Michael Jordan do Michael Jordan things, right? And so fast forward to Kansas, he's sitting there with Larry Brown and Alan Fieldhouse in one practice, and Larry Brown's like, I just don't know what to do. Danny, I think I got to coach him less. And Mike's like, that's exactly right. He told that story about Bob Knight and Jordan.
That's cool.
With these star players. Just let them be star players. Sometimes coaches' egos get in the way. The fact that Bob Knight backed away from Michael Jordan after trying to make him square peg round hole is remarkable. But that's sometimes what you have to do. So you just have to coach them less. Danny Manning was unbelievable in that time in Lawrence. I have him. I have Mario Chalmers, obviously big shot. I got Brandon Rush because I just love watching Brandon Rush play.
Great.
Some of the stories that Bill used to tell about Brandon Rush on treadmills and things like that, unbelievable. Brandon Rush is awesome. Kirk Heinrich because I just love Kirk Heinrich, and then Sharon Collins because he's an awesome point guard. He was great.
Yeah, I'm going Kirk Heinrich, Jeff Boschee, Brandon Rush, Drew Gooden, Nick Collison. I've got my two bigs down there. I've got my three-point shooter and Jeff Boschee. I've got Brandon Rush, who's just the athlete, and then I've got the man handling the ship in Kirk Heinrich.
Okay.
I mean, how many All-Americans are on that? Two, actually? Three?
Say the names again.
Heinrich was an All-American.
Yeah.
Boschee was not.
No.
Rush, I don't believe, was a first team. He might have been second team. Gooden and Collison, I know, were All-Americans. Because Gooden, if he'd have came back, they probably beat Syracuse. But he left after they lost to Maryland. And went
He
to the league.
stunk in that game, too.
Well, Will Cox was a man. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, Drew Gooden just went into his shell in that game.
Yeah.
Not over that.
So
one.
Heinrich, Boschee, Rush, Gooden, Collison.
Nice. That's good.
And out of all of those guys, there's one that was not a 4-year player, right? Gooden was the only one in that bunch that wasn't a 4-year player. And those are great players.
The only reason Rush was because he blew his ACL out in the offseason.
Right. But still, allowed him to come back and be that guy, create that culture, go to Henry T's, talk things out.
Have more points than North Carolina in the first half, team versus player.
That was outstanding, yeah.
That graphic that still is to this day.
Brandon Rush was great at Kansas.
Right.
Yeah, a couple of repeats. I got Nick Collison on mine. I got Kirk Heinrich. Sharon Collins was like one of my favorite players growing up. I love that little hook layup shot that he had to get over the tall guys. Ochai Ajabi be like the athlete, move around, dunk over people, and then Marcus Morris, man. defend 3 or 4 positions, good mid-range scorer. Nick Collison's my big, got a lot of three-point shooting. There we go.
Josh at one point, was doing the pre and post and had to interview all these guys afterwards, and the Morris twins. I'm like, did you ever get them mixed up? Because all the time.
Oh, yeah. How could you not?
And they would do stuff, too, to try to mess with everybody, which is great. I love it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, love it. It's great.
We actually have an umpire texting into the show.
Really?
Did you know this? So do you guys think that robots and AI should take over sports talk radio just to make sure that the facts and the right that are being said and there aren't any human errors?
It's the apples to oranges, pal.
Dude, what?
By the way, AI got it wrong. What is it, Grok? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Grok.
I watched the foreplay guys on Barstool.
Yeah.
Frankie and Riggs and all those guys. Grok got it wrong. He thought Tiger Woods only won 4 Masters. He won 5. Forgot about the 2000 and what was it, 2009? Was that what it was? 2019. When Tiger Woods won the 2019, he didn't have it on there. So then they were arguing back and forth on their podcast, like, why aren't you mentioning 2019? And then he comes back and goes, I did. And the Frankie guy on the show had them both screenshotted. The first one did not. The second one, he went back and auto-corrected and put 2019.
That may be one of the dumbest texts we've ever received.
Yeah.
Seriously, it is. It's one of the dumbest we've ever received. And we've received some really dumb texts over the years. You think AI can do you? AI sucks. I hate AI. I think it's the devil's work. But having umpires with the ability to review a call is not AI. It's getting it right. And we're entertainers. We're not reporters out here, or we're not, people are going to make mistakes. It happens. But you know what? If you're an umpire in Major League Baseball, when people's livelihoods are on the line, yeah, you better get it right.
Coming up on the other side on Fescoe and Dusty, we get to our Richard of the Week on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com. And I look forward to working with you.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. With 56 million winning tickets last year, anyone can win big. So set your destination to winning, like gas stations, grocery stores, or anywhere you can buy a ticket. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Hey, weekend warriors. How's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in.
Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. Let's do it again and get vaccinated, because we're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit VaxAssist.com and schedule a vaccine today. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
In Belton, 49 northbound slows before 163rd, stays off again on again heavy on past 155th Street with construction. Kansas side, 69 highway northbound slows past 179th Street with roadwork. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Your chance to win $965. Plus, an autographed Chiefs helmet as part of our draft contest when we broadcast live from the Landing in Liberty during the first round on April 24th. The Fans Draft Party. 96.5 The Fan. KFMC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
Well, we're back.
And we're back.
Yeah. Royals in Baltimore tonight in Kansas City. Could be a little damp outside. Ryan with the scores. Got a lot of support to the AI guy saying that radio should be AI because, we don't get all our facts right.
Yeah.
Talk radio from the 620. Talk radio is about opinion. Balls and strikes aren't.
That's good. Thank you for understanding that, too, that it is an opinion-based platform. There are so many people that don't get that.
Somebody says, can we agree to make the texter the hierarchy Richard of the Week? Yeah. Richard of the Week just revealed himself. Umpire shaking my head. That's funny.
It's unbelievable.
We have fun here. It's fine.
Yeah, the text line has done a nice job of responding to that dolt. I mean, it's really good.
Well, they responded and said, oh, my bad. Only when it's convenient for you guys. Sorry.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Only what?
When we're wrong or when we need a fact, we would use AI. I just won't ever use AI.
I don't use it at all.
I don't use it on my Snapchat. I tried to when it came to betting, and it said he cannot do that.
I do not like AI because it is taking away jobs from people. There's no question it's doing that, but that's not umpiring. What did somebody say about the balls and strikes aren't, our opinions? People aren't betting millions of dollars on our opinions, right? That's the other thing. With the gambling where it is now, I think I heard the stat yesterday that New York State took in like $21 billion in gambling last year, just New York State alone. Like there's so much money being gambled on these games. Get them right.
Well, look at, you want to know how much money is being done in Kansas? Look at all the road construction that constantly goes down. Where do you think that money's coming from?
Look at the ballpark that's going to be built, too.
Look at the weed money in Missouri. Everything's getting fixed in Missouri now on the roads.
Is it? Oh, I thought that money was supposed to go to education.
I mean, entire downtown, I don't know.
To get that education, you got to drive on the road, right?
Yeah, you got to take the school bus.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like where is all the gambling? I guess I know there's a pot in Kansas for. Well, there's no pot in Kansas, but
say there is definitely not.
Which is, one of 4 states now. Pull your heads out of your ass, Kansas.
Damn, that's it. Wow.
Yeah. But where was I going with this? They obviously have money for education and money set away to build the stadium and whatnot. And so that's what they're doing with their gambling money. I think New York State said they're giving it to education. I don't know. Or teachers getting raises because of gambling. I don't know. I don't know. I think the Missouri pot money was supposed to go to education and, drug stuff or whatever. I don't know. There's so much money that's being gambled, so much money that's being wagered out there. You've got to get these calls right. And I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing this with the NFL going over the top with the first down markers and all this kind of stuff, because they know our bread's being buttered now by the gambling industry. And if we're not getting these calls right, the gambling industry is not going to be happy. And they're one of our biggest clients.
Somebody said AI has formed a sound of MJ Melendez's swing. I didn't believe it until I heard it. This is what MJ Melendez's swing sounds like via AI.
Hey, what yo, man?
All right, let's get to the Richard of the Week. That was a shot that I should have taken.
Oh, Richard, I'm so happy. Hold me.
Richard of the Week.
Not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Text line, can AI hit for MJ Melendez?
That's funny.
Oh, Lord. Wonder if he'll be in the lineup today. Okay. Somebody says the weed money funded the new aquarium at the zoo.
Oh, cool. Great.
Let them penguins swim, man.
I like it.
Little animals in tuxedos.
Yeah.
My Richard of the Week is golf related, but it's a homeowner. So I'm going to play you some audio. I'm going to give you a setup of what happened. Guy's teeing off and looks like probably like a country club. And he hits a slice. You know what that is, right? Not the orange drink, but it goes, a ride.
That's all I hit when I played, yeah.
So this guy was pissed.
I'm mad motherfucker right now.
I know, I bet. I have windows too.
Yeah. What's your name? Vitaly. All right, Vitaly. You owe me $681. I'm damn mad at it. You can't hit this damn thing. It's 200 yards wide, and you're hitting houses.
Slice. Sorry.
Yeah, you're sorry? I'm out of window.
Linda.
Go to the next hole.
I haven't hit yet.
Hit it.
Yeah.
Paying $675 for a window. Like Window World's gone for like $189, man.
$681 for a window.
A window.
So here's my Richard. It's this guy. He comes out with a golf club as if he's like trying to. The video's on the internet. You can go to I think it's like Nuclear Golf is where I found it.
He's like threatening.
Yeah, well, I mean, coming out with a club.
No, coming out with a club, that's threat.
Yeah.
That's a threat.
I mean, you're coming out with a weapon in your hand.
Wow.
He's not playing golf because he's obviously at his house where it got hit. This happens, right? Like,
what is the protocol with that?
So, from what I've seen playing golf, if you do hit a house, normally you have to own up to it. Because from a buddy of mine who's a real estate agent says that a lot of golf courses don't offer insurance via golf balls being hit in the house because it just happens so often. It's also read the room.
They're scamming the insurance companies.
You moved onto a golf course. Yeah. Chances of a golf ball hitting your house, that's par for the course. Right. No pun intended.
But can you put up nets or something?
Sure
you see at the driving range in your backyard?
Because a while back, this guy got really pissed at a golf course we were at because one of our balls went into his backyard. And he had solar panel on top of his roof.
Okay.
And he came out and MF'd me and my buddy Mike, nonstop.
For what?
Because he went to his yard to pick his golf ball up. But it was, again, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to go in the yard. But it was right next to the white stick. I mean, right next to it.
So what, are you just supposed to leave it there?
It's not your property.
Gotcha.
It is what it is. That's the rule.
Okay.
I totally understand
Okay.
it. But he literally did not step foot into the property. He just reached over it. Guy opens the sliding door. Hey, you mother, get the, hey, I'm sick of this. All this.
First of all, let's.
That's how he started the situation.
Okay, so let's back up just a second. This guy has nothing else to do with his day except sit there and wait for a golfer to go into his yard. That guy's probably been waiting for years for somebody to do that and finally got somebody.
And it turns out he was pissed because somebody 2 days prior had hit a slice and hit his roof and shattered one of his solar panel handles.
Well, I mean, don't put solar panels on your house if you're on a golf course. I hate to say that, but that's on you.
You know me. I'm kind of a smartass, and I'll push the envelope.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you did decide to move to a golf course.
Right.
You got something else to say, kid? I was like, I'm 35, but yeah, you can call me kid. I appreciate that. Got in the cart and walked off and drove off. But again, it's not like we went walking around the yard.
Right.
If your ball's right there, you just go pick it up, get out, whatever. I've done it at Lakewood before. I've done it at other country clubs before. But, like, if you're going to the guy's backyard and you're like, I think it's over here, and you're walking around, I understand why that merits a conversation.
Yeah.
But nothing ever comes good of, like, coming out and just firing expletives and, like, trying to be that guy.
No.
But also, you moved to a golf course.
You move to a golf course. There are, like, certain things, like we call it the cost of doing business, right? Sometimes it's the cost of doing business, or sometimes it's an incurred cost that you're going to get because this is where you chose to live. Again, you made that decision. Nobody forced you to live there.
Right.
Nobody told you you had to live there. Nobody held your feet to the fire and said you chose to move there. So when you make choices in life, there are consequences for all of those choices. Some they're good consequences, some are bad consequences. But when you make your choices, you have to be willing to accept those consequences. If you're not willing to accept the consequences, well, don't make that choice. Don't blame others.
Yeah, so my rich of the week is that homeowner that lives on a golf course that says, you cost me $681 for a window. Maybe you should have thought about where you lived before that. Man, I really hate hurricanes.
Yeah.
Why'd you move to the southeast?
Right. Why are you in Florida?
Yeah.
Window.
Yeah, so that's mine.
Mac, who's yours?
Mine's a high school kid in Frisco, Texas. Really sad.
The stabbing?
Yeah, you hear about this?
Oh, yeah. Twin brother died in his twin brother's arms.
Yep, in his brother's arms. Twin brother screams for help. It's like, hey, my brother was stabbed, and it was just another opponent running against him. I guess they don't have a motive yet, but they have a suspect, and they're going to figure out, I guess, if there was a motive. But if it's just like, I mean, no matter what it is, I mean, Richard of the Week, man. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Opponent in high school?
Yeah, the story is a kid was sitting somewhere that he didn't, like, belong. He wasn't supposed to sit there. The kid that was stabbed asked him to move. An altercation happened. He was stabbed in the heart. Kid ran away. Brother of the twin brother comes to get him, and he literally is like dies in his arms.
Yeah, tragic.
Stop with violence.
Yeah,
life is too short. Too many people are dying around our lives today. Let's all just like each other.
Yeah,
let's care for one another. Let's be nicer. I'm gonna try to be nicer to people that send in terrible texts. Unless you want me to be AI'd out, that's not nice. But again, like violence is not the answer.
It really is.
If a guy hits your house, hey man. Just so you know, you hit my window. Let's just exchange some information. Enjoy your round. But he came out with a golf club, hit the guy's tire. This guy's in the wrong spot, gets mad about it. Why he has a gun at a track or a knife at a track event?
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Mine goes to.
But wait, there's more.
An elementary school janitor in New Jersey has been sentenced to 8 years in jail after admitting he deliberately contaminated students' cafeteria food with feces and bodily fluids.
Okay, I take back the knife comment. I'm kidding.
Giovanni Imperalezzi, 27, a self-identified satanist who claimed to be doing the devil's work, pleaded
Satanist.
guilty to second-degree official misconduct and third-degree possession of child abuse material in January, as reported by NBC Philadelphia. It came after a plea deal that led to additional charges being dropped against the janitor, including aggravated assault, endangering a child's welfare, and tampering with food products.
Ugh.
He's got to serve 5 years of his 8-year sentence before he's allowed out of jail.
8 years all year?
That's it. That's all you're getting is 8 years for that guy. Should be locked up for life. He's a menace to society. Like, the world does not need this guy walking the streets. We're a better society with that guy behind bars.
Wasn't there a guy like at a Hereford house not long ago that was like doing stuff like that too to food?
Yep.
People were getting sick?
Well, they shut the whole restaurant down.
Ugh. What is wrong with people, man? Like, what goes into your head to be like, you know what? F these kids, man. I'm going to soil in their meatloaf.
He was performing, and they have footage of him performing sexual acts on inanimate objects at the school.
Okay.
How does that guy not go to jail for life?
Well, he'd be lucky to avoid somebody's dad whose student goes to that school. I can tell you that much.
Damn right.
I mean, what's going to happen to this guy in the Cumberland County pen, man?
Well, if they find out what he did.
They will.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is Richard of the Week. It is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka. Surfside Lemonade as well and vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part is 0 bubbles. So, again, shout out to Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka.
Great.
They're a great cocktail. I smashed like 6 the other night. But I got to try the product. I've had it once.
They're outstanding. I love their product.
The green tea one's great.
Is it? I like the regular iced tea one. They're phenomenal.
Oh. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade, a vodka as well. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part, 0 troubles and 0 bubbles. So that is the Richard of the week. Coming up on the other side, we'll dive back into my theory that one MJ Melendez is the same as Kadarius Toney. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Hey, it's Michael Waka, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
As men get older, our bodies change. We all know that, and often we just accept the changes as the way it is. But some of those changes, such as bad sleep patterns, low sex drive, brain fog, no energy, and reduced gains in the gym, could be due to low testosterone. And that is something you can change. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And even if you're in your 30s, if you're experiencing some or all of the symptoms I just noted, you very well may need low testosterone treatment. With our treatment protocols, if you're like most men, you'll be amazed at the change. You'll have more energy, improved mental clarity, your sleep will be better, so will your workouts, and you'll likely find that your sex drive increases too. So give us a call today and make the change for good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Our iconic blue trucks and expert team get it right the first time. Award-winning full-service lawn care and pest control since 1985. Call today for a free estimate. Visit aspenlawn.com.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor? Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's March matchups at BetMGM. Lock in your picks for this year's tournament with the sportsbook born in Vegas. Get into the game with exciting state-of-the-art live tracking technology, exclusive sportsbook selections, and so much more. Check out BetMGM Originals for dozens of markets you won't find anywhere else. Take a shot at our exciting free-to-play games for your chance at scoring odds boost tokens, bonus bets, and many other prizes. Experience college hoops like never before with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Some U.S. promotional offers are not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offer for new customers only. All other promotions for existing customers. Subject to eligibility requirements and rewards may vary. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
I'm Jenna Fisher. And I'm Angela Kinsey. And together we have the podcast Office Ladies. Just because we finished rewatching The Office does not mean we're going anywhere. Every Wednesday, we'll be sharing even more exclusive stories from The Office and our friendship with brand new guests. Plus, you can revisit all the Office Ladies rewatch episodes every Monday with new bonus tidbits before every episode.
So follow and listen to Office Ladies on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
The finals are here, and DraftKings is offering all customers a no-sweat parlay every single day before the college basketball season ends. How does it work? Opt in and place a bet on any eligible parlay. If your bet doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code 965. That's promo code 965 to get a no-sweat parlay every single day. Only only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Kansas only. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. Eligibility and wagering restrictions apply. Opt in to get one no-sweat bet. No-sweat bonus bet issued in amount of losing qualifying bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Maximum reward and qualifying bet criteria vary. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Today, expect rain showers with a high of 51.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Robert Half's recruiting professionals use their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Diving right back into it here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. The Cougar Child is here as well. Mac Morning. Is it Chow or Child?
Chow.
Oh.
Because the Cougars want to eat them.
There you go. You got it.
Okay.
Cougar Child would be kind of weird.
Well,
Trying
you
to think what that would mean.
kind of are. I mean,
Yeah, that makes sense.
we all are kind of children of Cougars.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Our moms. And your mom's friend.
I was waiting for it.
Is she going to be at the Sand Trap today?
I would hope so.
Some important dates for you to know. Today, obviously, we'll be at the Sand Trap. Woo! I believe that's off 103rd and Holmes.
135th-ish, 133rd-ish, right by Dos de Oros, if you're familiar with that Mexican restaurant, which is very, very nice.
It's good? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
My accountant's in that strip mall there as well. So, yeah, we'll see. They got a roof and everything on the Sand Trap now.
Wow.
Dude wipes in the bathroom, too, which is money in
That
the
is
bank,
money.
man.
Somebody said we might have had the Richardest of Richards ever on this show.
Who?
The ones we played.
Oh, no.
Easy.
Yeah, I just posted the podcast if you want to go listen to it. But that was the caption. It was like, a lot of good options this week because it seemed like those were some real big Richards that we had this week.
I had another
$681 for a window.
I had another one I could have brought up. We were at soccer last night.
Oh, God.
I texted you guys this one. This is unbelievable to me, right? Like, I think, and I am a parent, so I can speak on this. I think at games, parents should not be allowed to speak. That's kind of the way I feel. Some of the stuff that people say is unbelievable. I told you last week I had a husband and a wife and their parents in front of 4 people complaining about how Bill Self sucks. And I'm like, this is the dumbest conversation I've ever been a part of. I've got to walk away, right? Because I like to talk to my wife or my mother-in-law.
But you just said you should be able to talk.
Just kind of quiet like this, not about the game, yelling at the ref, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So last night, offsides gets called, which no parent in Johnson County has any effing clue what offsides is. They just don't. Stop pretending you do. You don't. None of us do. I don't even, I know. I'm admitting it. I don't know what the hell it is.
Yes, you do.
At times,
you can't be past the furthest defender down the field.
Right.
That's the simplest thing.
The simplest way to explain it, but nobody seemingly understands.
Then explain
right?
cherry picking to them in the NBA. That's what they're avoiding in soccer.
Right. That's what they're avoiding. Yes. I think they should have offsides in basketball, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. That's why we see the best dunks.
Yeah. Offsides in basketball. Let's go. So offsides is called. Everybody complains. Nobody knows what offsides is. This guy yells. It's obviously his daughter. You should not be calling offsides on her because she's faster than everybody else. It's not her fault.
Well, then she needs to learn how to play the game.
Exactly, Dusty. Exactly. Learn how to play the game.
No, dude, it's everyone else's fault.
It's everyone else's fault in this world now. It's somebody else's fault.
What the hell's Aaron Rodgers doing in a game in Johnson County?
Yeah, right? Yeah. My kid's faster than everybody else, so you shouldn't be calling offsides. No, that's not how the game works. I hate to break that to you.
Even Jack knew how to run in track in the Incredibles. Slow down, go faster, go slow down. If that's the case, Leo Messi would have had a rule change because at the time in Barcelona when he was young, he was fastest person in soccer.
Yeah, I guess the guy's an NFL fan and figures if he just complains, we'll change a rule to benefit his kid like the NFL does to benefit Josh Allen.
Okay.
That's true. Every rule that gets changed because Josh Allen can't beat Patrick Mahomes, so let's change the rules because we don't want somebody to have poop in their pants and they're sad. They'll learn how to play the game. We're in a society This is how the game's played. Figure out how to play within the rules. It's not that hard.
Somebody says, sounds like Matt should get Richard of the Week.
Why?
Something about his, or at least his, if he is using the nickname Cougar Chow.
He doesn't use it himself. He mistakenly told us that was his nickname.
Yes.
And when you tell your buddy something on mistake, they don't let it go.
Yeah, it's forever now.
It's what guys do.
Somebody from the 816 says, soccer parent here. Parents shouldn't be allowed to yell at refs. Should be zero tolerance for it.
I don't disagree with that at all.
What? So, but your kids are in like high school, so it's starting to get to that.
Oh, it doesn't matter what level it is.
Because I agree with you, like elementary, like come on. It's
I helped
ridiculous.
my buddy coach his little daughter's soccer team. He's like, I'm the only one out here. Can you just come out here? Like his kids knew who I was. Like I wasn't like a stranger.
Yeah.
To like a few of them, but other people were like, hey, this is Coach. He called me Coach Wolf.
Love it.
Yeah, Coach Wolf. It's on the back of the shirt too. Shout out to the Lee Summit Mustangs.
That's awesome.
And it was crazy because the two
at that age you're just herding cats. You know?
Yeah. So like they were 7.
Oh, even
right.
worse.
So offsides isn't even a rule yet.
Yeah.
No, of course not.
And it's me, our buddy Seneca, and my buddy Tyler. We're the coaches. And before every game, we would get together and we'd talk. I would work on defense or offense. Seneca would be defense, and Tyler was the manager. And before we broke the huddle, we'd say, what's the number one rule, guys? And we'd all say together, don't talk to the refs. You know why?
Oh, I thought you say have fun.
No. We already knew that. That wasn't a rule. That just is a standard.
Really? You should tell some of these parents and kids this. You know, it's okay to have fun.
So, like, we would say, don't talk to the refs. You know why we didn't talk to the refs? Because they were children trying to have a job. And you still had these a-holes out here that'd be like, what are you calling?
Oh, yeah. It's yeah.
Call foul.
Yeah, 17-year-old man.
No, it's true. It's why these kids, like my daughter could make $20 a game reffing and being the flag person. She goes, I don't want to deal with the parents. I'm not doing it.
That's a text right now. Parents are why I no longer officiate high school basketball.
That's sad.
I mean, we told our daughter this years ago. You could be making, when you're not playing, you can make an easy $100 in a weekend. All you got to do is wave a flag for 5 games. You do 2 on Saturday, 3 on, but however you want to do it, easy money. She finally says, Dad, I'm not doing it. I don't want to deal with these parents that just constantly are yelling.
I have no problem.
And that's when she was in, like, I want to say 6th grade.
Gosh.
Parents suck. Like, they ruin youth sports. It's embarrassing. Like, I feel bad for the kids whose parents are up there doing this kind of stuff. This guy yesterday, my kid's just faster than everybody else. No.
Jerk.
Yeah. Like, I don't get that. Like, I don't get what you're gaining by yelling at a 13-year-old kid just trying to have a job and do soccer, which they're going to take their yellow referee jersey off, put their soccer jersey on, and go play.
Yep.
I mean, like, gosh.
A couple of my daughter's friends were the same way. I don't really want to deal with the parents and hearing this and getting yelled at. And so.
Because, I don't know, like if I saw, and I think this is great from the text line. They're like, I love to yell at the parents that yell at the refs because then they look dumbfounded when you yell at them.
Yeah.
And like,
I look at them, I'm like.
And like our team kind of knew, like our parents knew that that's kind of like our core value was like, these are refs, these are children, let them do their thing. They, from at least my perspective, never had an issue. And we would coach against guys. They'd be like, they're holding their jerseys. And we would look at the guy and we'd be like, this is why we're not them. And guess what? And I know this is crazy, and I know it's wild to think about this, but when you don't talk to the ref and they like you and they respect you because you know you respect them, guess who's going to get the calls?
Of course. Yeah, of course you're going to get the calls. It happens in professional sports all the time.
Not Billy on the sideline saying, that's a foul, and you missed it, running out on the field and flapping gums.
As Sarah in kindergarten is trying to just learn how to kick a football.
But in all honesty, I mean, people in professional sports have said this is why we don't have great officials at the professional level anymore, because nobody's getting into it anymore because they don't want to be abused. And so if you're not, starting out refereeing youth league and then moving up the high school, the low-level college, the high-level college into the pros, there's no funnel system. That's why that guy who we don't like, Carl Cheffers, is reffing all the Super Bowls. He's the only one with any sort of seniority out there because everybody else is like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not worth it to be a youth official and work your way up because you got to deal with abuse from parents.
Great text here. Your kid's faster than everyone. Then they should have no problem getting to the ball before everyone else. The ball is passed.
That's right. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
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 Yeah. You know what? Hate to say it, the KC Current should be able to play offsides because Shawinga's the fastest girl in the world.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But you know what she does? She times it perfectly, and then it's gone.
Here's what we're going to do. Back in 2019, Tyreek Hill can't go off the line of scrimmage until he goes 1,000, 2,000 because he's faster than everybody else, and then he can go.
Or it would be like the XFL or whatever sport. Arena, you get to start 10 yards back and you get a running start. And then he snaps
which
it.
I don't mind that. That's a fun one. But
that'd be worse for the
Tyreek
teams.
just has to stand there for 2 seconds before he can go. Come on. These are the rules of the game. Adjust to the rules of the game.
Ugh.
And if you don't like it, don't play. But don't sit there and criticize the referees. I just
They
don't
are
have
children.
Now, the high school ones are older. I don't want to say older adults. They're like, our age or whatever. They're adults.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the 13-year-olds, which is fine. But still, I mean.
When I was in Little League, I was always told the referees were doing community service. Shout out Blue Springs.
Oh, well, we had that.
That's a good message.
I found out years later that my first football coach was doing community service because he was a DUI guy, and his community service, it was the best football coach I ever had. The guy was awesome. But we found out later, that guy was doing community service. Oh, okay.
I mean, even the refs that get paid, they're doing a service to the community as well on some level.
They're putting up with your BS.
Yes, for $20. Come on.
Well, it's a 50-minute game. It's good money to wave a flag if you're a kid.
Yeah, if you're a kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I know some people that do it for spare change, and whatnot. And
it would be fun to do, honestly, if it weren't for all the hassle.
Yeah, we have a friend of ours that refs, and he refs games with his sons, and the three of them do the games together.
Cool.
It's good father-son bonding time, and they make some money off the deal.
It's crazy how relatable this topic is with the text line because somebody says from the 313, a few years ago, my mom was yelling at calls the umpire was making. My nephew, who was a shy 11-year-old person, left the dugout, walked up the bleachers, and said, "Grandma, please be quiet. It bothers me." You could hear a pin drop.
Did Grandma ever say a word again? That's great when the kids
I guess I'll
do
just
that.
leave if your kid's going to be snotty.
My mother would be that one.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my mother. But fine, I guess you don't want us here. Okay, then go.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. If you have if a ref is continuing to make the same call that's bad, there's a way to do it. And I'll tell you, it's real easy. It's real easy. When there's intermission or it's halftime or the quarter's over, you walk up and say, "Hey, just want to talk to you real quick. I've noticed you've been calling this call. What can we do to not get that call anymore?" Because it seems
You're talking from a coach perspective.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't want parents waddling out of the crowd going, "Hey."
You decided not to coach.
Yeah.
So that doesn't give you the power to coach from the bleachers. You've decided to forfeit that opportunity because you, A, didn't want to do it because of timing or
whatever.
Your busy schedule. Yep. So that doesn't mean you get to come out here and be a Richard in the stands.
No.
But the coach can then be like, maybe his assistants are coming around like, "Hey, man, they're not offsides. And I'm going to try to figure out why they keep calling it. So then I can go explain to my team, here's why they're calling it. Let's do this differently."
That's exactly what you do. You ask for an explanation. "Hey, man, I see you're calling this. Explain to me what we're doing wrong."
Right.
And the referee will be more than happy.
And also, if you really are, one, living vicariously through your children, change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Two, try to put yourself in their shoes. Try to put yourself in their shoes when they see their parent, who everyone knows who their dad or their mom is or their aunt and their uncle is, yelling like a Richard in the stands. Everyone knows that's Michelle's dad, or everyone knows that that's Scooter's grandpa. Like, "Oh, God, what's he going to say this game?"
Scoot's here?
I wish. I can tell you one thing. There were two kids I grew up with in Little League, and everybody knew who their mothers were.
Oh, I got two people as well. Warren Jarkovsky's mother.
Okay.
Anytime,
I'm not going first and last name.
I will.
But, yeah.
But Warren Jarkovsky's mother used to scream "miss it" at the top of her lungs at every Little League game where there was a fly ball. Miss it!
Yeah,
like
I
this,
got
right?
it. I got it. Yep.
Okay, so
loud and clear.
And
I
then
figured that's what it was like.
Where I lived, you had my house, then you had a street, and across the street were other houses, but behind those houses was the school and the soccer field where everybody played. And we all knew when Rebecca Tomsky's team was playing because you could hear her mother through the neighborhood screaming at the top of her lungs, "Get it!" Scream. So I'm with you. You know those parents. To this day, 40 years later, I remember these first and last names of these people and what they were doing because that's the impression that they had on a 10-year-old.
What was the second one? What did they sound like?
Don't stop. I don't need that in again.
Get it!
Jesus.
So remember, when you're making a jackass of yourself, you're setting an impression that people will have of you for the rest of their lives. Oh, yeah, remember that person's mom? Oh, yeah.
Need a couple Advil.
Imagine, though, being in your house hearing that.
I've got it. I have got it painted in my mind. What went down?
What was it like on the field?
It's terrible. It's awkward for the kid. It's awkward for the family. It's awkward for the fans. You don't want to be around those people. You now have your lawn chair in the corner of the field in a terrible seat, but it's a better seat because you're not next to that Nancy yelling.
That's exactly
I
right.
don't care if
and
I
her
can't see
name
the
was
game.
Nancy Tomsky, actually. That's funny that you said that.
It's like it's not hard to figure it out. Like, why are they all over there? Because so-and-so's in the stands, and I don't want to. It's like when you watch a football game. How annoying is it to watch a football game? The guy's overly clapping loud, like, come on, Travis.
Oh, the guy that's
first name
complaining
basis.
about every play, too.
Yeah. They just didn't show up. They don't care.
It's 1st and 10.
Oh, that they don't care. Gosh.
They just don't care. Look at the sideline.
Yeah.
The demeanor's down. They're losing 44-6 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Would you care, Frank?
Yeah, that was the Super Bowl people. Were like, they just don't care. They're getting their doors blown off. It's over. They just need to care. Okay, because they don't.
They're getting paid to be here.
Yeah. Okay.
I think MJ Melendez is Kadarius Toney. I think eventually frustration of failure is going to cause a rift in this team. I understand that the guys at the top of the order are supposed to set the tone, and they're supposed to do that, right? I understand that. But this team has said to many people, we are a playoff team. We know our destination before the season starts, and that is getting past the ALDS, winning this division. You are not winning this division if you are continuing to give somebody more and more chance. Like, how much is enough? You give this kid a chance. He continues to break things in your house. Okay, well, stop. You can't go upstairs anymore. Breaks things in the lower part of the house. Okay, eventually, that kid no longer lives in your house. I know that's a wild analogy, but why do we need 80 at-bats to figure it out? Why do we need 75 at-bats to see if he was going to do that?
Because you hope that this guy...
Hoping is done. It's been 2.5 years.
I know, but you hope that after last season, this guy went to the offseason, fixed things, figured some things out, did what he needed to do, and then he would come back and realize, I wasn't that good last year.
But he's clearly not listening to Hall of Famers.
And that's where we are, yeah.
So at what point, when George Brett comes up to you and says, hey, I would do this, and you're like, absolutely, for sure. And then you're just like, tell me what to do.
What'd you ever do in your career?
Right. So to me, that's a bad apple.
Well,
to me, that's something that is, I understand if like.
That is a bad apple, and you're never going to change that person.
Right.
That person's going to be who he is.
And, I just think that with Kadarius Toney, when he kept messing up over and over and over again, and people are like, well, they won a Super Bowl with Kadarius Toney. Correct. They won 2, actually. But that second one, he wasn't on the active roster. And when they got in there, it's like,
And I don't think he really even understood why he wasn't on the active roster.
He said, I'm not hurt. What are they talking about?
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine.
Because you suck.
No, you're hurting the team.
Yeah.
So, the top of the guys of the order are supposed to get on. But if he's hitting 6th or 7th, and all of a sudden you got 2 guys on, you got 1 run in, you're hoping to get more guys left on base to get knocked in, and he goes up there and strikes out again, eventually that sort of trickles down where it's like, damn it, dude, this is so frustrating. Like, why does he keep doing this? And I'm just telling you that I'm tired of seeing the reports of let's get him to 80 at-bats. Let's get him to June 15th. I'm done. Look, I know he's probably going to be in the lineup tonight. It's a big series, but if he continues to be the bad apple in this lineup and he's not taking advice from professional athletes of the past that are in Cooperstown, and it's the same thing at what point is it like you tell the kid to stop touching the stove, it'll burn his finger? At what point do you have any sympathy left when they keep touching the hot stove?
You lose it eventually, but I think, let me ask this. Where do you think this type of player has more of a negative impact, in football or in baseball?
I mean, baseball's a longer season.
It is a longer season.
And when you have more opportunities in baseball to fail than you do in football.
Right.
So I would say baseball.
See, I would say football because of the smaller amount of opportunities. And when you do fail, it is magnified. Like when Kadarius Toney lined up offsides, that cost us a game. That cost us the number 1 seed. Like all of that stuff, that trickle-down effect that cost the Chiefs was massive. And so I think you can cover up for a bad apple, if you will, in a baseball lineup. It's harder, I think, to do in football because everybody is so dependent on everybody. Eventually, though, you're right. I don't disagree that eventually they're going to look around and they're going to go, bro, you got to pull your weight here. Like, we're all pulling our weight. We can't pull it anymore. You've got to step up. And when that time comes and the frustration sets in, then I think that's when you see the move. But I want our Ben Zobrist. That's who I want to replace MJ Melendez. I want a guy like Ben Zobrist. Who that guy is, who has that major league experience, I don't know the answer to that question yet right now. Taylor Ward has been linked to the Chiefs. The Angels aren't playing good Royals. The Angels aren't playing good baseball right now. Maybe that's a guy that you go out and get. We need our Ben Zobrist. If you have the goal, which they do and they should, of being a playoff team, I want to add a veteran bat into that lineup. I want my Ben Zobrist. I want that guy. And again, he was kind of a unicorn, but that guy does exist. He's out there. They've got to find that guy to add in that will be a veteran in this lineup that will pick everybody else up, and everybody else will go, man, this is awesome. They went out and got this guy to help our team get better.
And see, like, the reason there's comparisons between the two is Kadarius Toney wasn't trying to get better. He was just ignoring people. He was like, I don't need to do this. I'm a pro, right?
Well, you have to understand. How am I going to phrase this? You have to understand when you're the problem. And some people don't have that self-awareness. I don't think Marv has self-awareness.
I think he never mind. That's unnecessary. If this team is a playoff team, this team is we're too grown as a team to be giving people chances. You're a playoff team, start acting like one, right? Like, you're a Fescoe, start acting like one. You know, it's like sort of like that sort of sentiment.
Well, when they act like jackasses, it's true. They are acting like one.
You know, and it's like, hey, man, like, get it together. Because, like, everyone's, like, sitting down to Omaha. That's not going to work anymore. That's not working anymore. The go-downs are done. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Like, hey, this is a warning. Stop speeding. Hey, you're still speeding. Stop warning. What's that guy going to tell me? He's a cop. Next time you get pulled over, you're done. You're getting arrested. You're getting booked. You're getting marked. You're getting a high ticket. Like, that's what it is. I'm just, the experiment talk I'm done with, because I much read very credible people, and I know that we represent the Royals as a station here. But look, this is something that needs to be said. Like, at what point and if you are out there and you do think that he needs to continue to get chances and hacks, I would love to meet you and hear what your explanation is. Because I know there's the people that say, well, if not him, then who?
Well, while I appreciate that, and not him, then who, that's why it's him right now, because they're waiting to find out who that replacement is going to be. But that's why those guys get paid the big bucks in these front offices. They've got it probably figured out. I guarantee you JJ has a roadmap in his office of, okay, if this guy goes bad, here are our options. I made the joke when I came back from my first trip to spring training. Everybody just kind of walks around and talks about where they're going to eat and do all this kind of stuff. And I was telling you a story kind of behind the scenes a little bit about some of the networking that goes on and whatnot, and how life is done behind the scenes. It's all about networking. That's going on at spring training. So when those guys leave, and I'm talking the general managers, when they leave Arizona or Florida, or wherever it is they have spring training, they all have an idea of who is going to be available sooner rather than later on these teams. They all talk. They're all friends, to use that term. They're all acquaintances, however you want to use it. All these guys know who's going to be available. They know about when they're going to be available. They know every team's situation, because that's part of the job. So the who, that's up to JJ to figure out. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
No doubt about it. Coming up on the other side, we'll get to our cover two that we didn't get to earlier, a.k.a. our turning two, baseball themed, and we'll get to our Mark Can of Corn on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly. Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 Brake Best Select brake rotors. You can upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for just $10 more. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20 more. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
It's March matchups at BetMGM. Lock in your picks for this year's tournament with the sportsbook born in Vegas. Get into the game with exciting state-of-the-art live tracking technology, exclusive sportsbook selections, and so much more. Check out BetMGM Originals for dozens of markets you won't find anywhere else. Take a shot at our exciting free-to-play games for your chance at scoring odds boost tokens, bonus bets, and many other prizes. Experience college hoops like never before with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Some U.S. promotional offers are not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offer for new customers only. All other promotions for existing customers. Subject to eligibility requirements and rewards may vary. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is the best place to bet on sports. There's an absolutely loaded sports calendar this week, right? We've got basketball, baseball, hockey, or any other sport. Check out some of their exclusive promotions. Dinger Tuesday, Hump Day parlays, and golf profit boost tokens over the weekend. Maybe you want to place some bets on the Royals to get wins this week over the Brewers and Orioles, and then look ahead to the first major in golf of the season. And right now, new customers on FanDuel can get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Alex to make every moment more. FanDuel's official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
The rain has moved in. Somebody in the text line from the 913 says it's a great day as work got canceled because of rain and lightning. Let's go.
All right.
All right.
See you at the sand trap later.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Get you a nap till about 1. Get you a safe ride there and a safe ride home, and let's have some booze. It's a bad day to be a beer. I can tell you that much.
This rain does suck, though, man.
Why? It's feeding your lawn that you just got planted by Aspen Lawn.
That's a good point.
Hey.
That's a good point.
Set him up, I'll knock him down.
Yeah.
Set him up, Joe, and play Walking the Floor. Great country song from the day. What are you guys doing this weekend? You turning two first? You want to do your Mark Canaccord?
You know what I'm doing this weekend? Not a damn thing. That's the beauty
No
of having
soccer?
kids in high school sports, Dan. There's nothing on the weekends.
Nice. Did you teach the eldest how to use the pin on the map so in case she gets lost again on the scooter?
Yeah,
She knows how to do that?
You could use that. Yeah,
Yep.
yep. So I have absolutely zero planned
Bob's
for
gonna
this
sleep in tomorrow
weekend.
until 6:15.
I don't know if I'll make it that long.
Oh my god!
About 5:45. All right, I might as well get up. Body starts hurting. It's time to go. That's when I get my walking in. If you know what I mean. You
do everything. And
I don't know what you mean.
I was telling people the other day. I said, like Saturdays, I get up and I'm done with everything by 10 a.m. I'm like, I got nothing else to do for the rest of the day because I get it all in.
Yep.
Get it all done, get it all taken care of, and have the day. It's great. I don't mind getting up early on the weekends.
Do you think Melendez makes more contact with the splash at the end of the game or with the baseball bat?
Like you talking about the Gatorade splash?
With the giant Quick Trip cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably there.
Yeah.
Probably there.
All right. I'm going to be done talking about that.
Yeah.
So you got nothing going
It's great.
on?
It's a good weekend.
Yeah, that's
man.
honestly fantastic.
Yeah, it is good.
You got
Do
the
some stuff
garage
around
door
the
ready to
house.
go?
Yeah, I think we're going to set up the patio hopefully this weekend. Like,
what's the weather like?
50s. Tomorrow sucks.
Rain?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sunday's supposed to be nice, right?
Okay, Sunday's nice.
Yeah.
But Saturday, man, you got the Royals at 3:10, maybe. Then you have college basketball back-to-back. So that's
Maybe,
great.
unless it leaks at the Alamo Dome. I mean, it could.
Well, then they can
You
just
never
go to the
know.
basement.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Yeah, you got that extra basement level.
I'm here to see the basement.
I know you are, but what am I? Ah!
You ever seen Jim Carrey do Pee Wee Herman?
No.
Oh,
that'd be funny.
You never seen it?
No.
Oh, my God. It's great. In living color, 1991.
Okay.
Yeah.
All my friends have big butts.
Yeah. Where's my bike?
Tell them Large Marge sent you.
Tequila.
Love Pee-wee.
Oh, I mean.
What a great song. Great lyrics in that song.
Yeah.
Tequila.
What, he got caught?
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
one of
yeah.
the reasons I don't go to a movie theater because
You think people are doing that?
my friend had it happen right next to her.
The guy was by himself?
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't have an assist?
Oh. That's bad.
Hey, man, sometimes you got to, you got to get to that moment. But just do it in the privacy of
That,
your own sector.
that and dirty feet. That's why I don't go to the movie. I mean, just being honest with you.
Yeah, you have some of those worst experiences because I've never seen someone
Yeah,
barefoot
it's
at
like
the theater,
he's had
man.
the worst
It's always right
plain
next to him.
movie, and he documents it. So
Oh, he does?
I'm not denying it. It's just
No, it's true.
you're just cursed, dude.
No, it's just unbelievable. People think the world is theirs.
What do you got going on?
Somebody says, so there's Sunday is a day game after a day game. How does that work? Because it's a nationally televised game, I believe, tonight, right? On MLB Network.
It's on MLB Network, yeah.
And then tomorrow's probably a game that's somewhere. I can't imagine why it would be at 3:10 other than the fact that it's probably on Fox. No, it's somewhere. Saturday's April 6th, right? No, 5th, April 5th. Gosh, why does that date sound so familiar? There's a reason why that game's at 3:10. Either way, that game might be postponed. That game might be starting at 5:10 on Saturday. For me, college basketball, right? Final Four and Royals. That's Saturday. That's the two I'm turning. I'm hoping weather doesn't go bad. I'm hoping I can go right at 3 o'clock. Royals play 2.5 hours later. That's 5:30, 5:40. I'm not going to miss much of the first, 10
you
minutes?
don't need anything but the last 2 minutes of a college basketball game is really all you need.
Yeah. So
who talks about the 13-minute mark other than Doolittle in the first quarter or the first half? You know?
Yeah. So that's probably my turn in two this weekend is that and Final Four and Royals hopefully take 2 out of 3 for the Mo's maybe.
Saturday parlay? Are you doing the whole day? Are you going to do a whole day? Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
Those whole day parlays are great, except if you lose the first leg.
one, you're
like,
no.
That's why there's underdog.
That's right.
It's true. That's exactly right.
No, or you just drive to Kansas,
Are you going to Okay, well then give me your quick. I know you're not you'll edit it, but give me your quick parlay, Saturday parlay.
For the baseball game or the college basketball?
Your whole day Saturday parlay.
Okay. Saturday day is Bubic's or is Waka start, so I'll take over strikeouts for Waka. I will take a hit for Bobby, a hit for Vinny, a hit for India.
Okay.
Some
Like
offense.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good
Waka's
underdog
Waka's K
bet.
number will probably be 4.5 or 5.
Probably.
I'll take the over 4.5, and I'll have Bobby, India, and Vinny all have hits. And that'll be roughly
And in
somewhere.
Missouri, you could use the underdog app. Never have to leave.
There you go.
And then college, I'm going to take Florida in the points at 5.5, and I'm going to take Auburn in the points at plus. I'm sorry, I'm going to take Florida in the points, and I'm going to take Duke at -5.5.
Yeah, because Florida's what, plus 2.5?
No. Auburn is plus 2.5.
Wow.
Auburn's the dog?
Auburn is the dog, and Duke is
Wolf.
the favorite.
Interesting.
I believe I read that right when we were talking to Ron Slay.
No, that's fair. No, that's crazy. I mean, Florida, like you said, they have been hot. They won the SEC tournament. That's just, wow, I'm shocked by that.
What did they do in the regular season against each other?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Played twice.
Yeah, played twice. Probably
Auburn plus 2.5, taking that.
Wow.
You parlay that with Duke -5.5, it's plus 285.
How you doing?
Yeah. I do like the over in Houston versus Duke. That is 136.5. But Houston's just like that defensive team, right? Like that Purdue-Houston game was like boring, dude.
Very boring.
Very boring game. In fact,
Until
I was
the
more
end.
interested in losing money at the blackjack table that night than watching that game.
We both did that.
What are you turning to this weekend?
Yeah, I'm kind of like Bob. I'm not doing a whole lot. I'll watch a crap ton of sports on Saturday, Royals and basketball. Probably have some people over. Maybe, I don't know, just kind of hang out. Yeah, chill, mow the lawn. Okay.
Well, you're not mowing the lawn now. You're done for the weekend.
Yeah, you ain't mowing at
It's
all.
over. Now.
It's over?
Yeah,
Josh texted me. He had a mower in his neighborhood about 7
Well,
a.m. Yeah, so you're done for the weekend.
Well, that's what I was going to
You'll
ask.
get to it about Tuesday.
It's been since I was 16 that I was mowing a lawn regularly.
Mm-hmm.
How long until after it rains do you have to wait?
Yeah, probably a good 24. Depends on how much it rains, too.
There's puddles in the ground out there right now. You're not mowing tomorrow.
Because it's going to rain.
Well, you're not mowing tomorrow because it's raining right now.
Yeah.
Right, it's going to rain tomorrow, so you're not mowing on Sunday.
And then Monday, you're taking a nap.
Yeah,
You're not mowing Monday.
So Tuesday's probably your mow
Tuesday.
day.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's your mow day.
Then nothing. Yeah.
What's your Mark Corn this weekend?
Nothing. Doing nothing is the greatest Mark Canna corn that we could have.
I'm going to do the big breakfast on Saturday.
You going to cook it on the flat top?
No, I think I'm just going to do the skillet in the house. I'm going to do like biscuits and gravy, bacon, eggs, and maybe some.
Is it not warm enough for you to use the flat top outside? Or?
No, it is. It's just wet. It's going to be.
Oh, that's
it's
right.
raining.
Duh.
So yeah.
Man.
Oh, I didn't
So like, I can cook that all inside. It's not as fun, but maybe if anything, I'll do the pancakes outside on the block. You can't beat pancakes on the Blackstone.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, do me a favor, everybody. Go out and call your dad or your mother. Just do it. Call them and tell them hi. You don't know when you're going to lose them. They're not here forever. We lost somebody last night that was dear to a lot of people in the city that I currently live in. So call your mom, call your dad, call your grandmother, call your sister, call your brother, and go do something nice for somebody. You never know. Could change their day, their week, their month, their year. It is simply cool to care is what my sweatshirt says today. Coming up next, it's Cody Gold and Drew from 10 to 2. It's not. It's Gold, Binkley, and Drew here on 96.5 The Fan. Talk to you Monday.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5.